Ta-da!
Oh, that was cool. You went out, and I just sat here and looked stupid at everybody.
You're looking. He said, I get the whole like 10, 9, 8 thing. I mean, I went through the math thing just like Mike did. This is the same for me.
I'm like,
I'm a professor, for God's sake. I should be able to figure this out.
And I'm definitely not. So it's.
Yeah, right. No, of course you are, dude. I mean, it's funny. I was talking to a buddy yesterday, and he was talking about how incredibly respected professors are in this culture, really. And so that was pretty good. Anyway, oh my God. Good morning and welcome to the Big Mango. Greetings and aloha. What's going on? It's Mike from LiveMyAssOff.com and
Jeremy from DoMoreLife. And we are the Bangkok boys.
Absolutely, guys. Welcome to Ep.4, Season 1, ladies and gentlemen. Going to be some good stuff. And first of all, I wanted to highlight the fact that you had a wildly successful live stream yesterday with JoJo. So I'm going to kind of give you the floor because I really want you to sort of summarize that for the guys that were on it, but also potentially weren't on it. So go for it, man.
So first and foremost, I had a lady on name JoJo yesterday. Her name's Joanna. She is a female expat that lives with her Canadian boyfriend in Pattaya. They actually live around John 10. And what's up? Let me just say what's up to everybody, Doorman and Aztec and Roger and Robert and everybody. Everybody. I can't list all the names off, but we had a live stream with her, and we hit a milestone in terms of likes. We got over 100 likes on the video yesterday. Absolutely incredible. Could not have done it without most of you guys that are here today. And I am just super grateful for Joanna's time, and I'm super grateful for the way that you guys handled yourself in that live stream yesterday, man. It was just incredible. Great questions and lots to talk about, but really, man, my heart just feels so warm this morning because it's like all the love yesterday was incredible, man. So I love you guys, and I really appreciate it. If you hadn't seen the live stream, go over and take a look at it. It's got over 1,000 views already, so it's
Congrats.
People are interested in that, and we really hit a milestone yesterday. So thank you guys very much. Back to the host of the show.
No. Hey, this is the team effort. So what did you say? So 100 and how many likes? Like just before it, I mean, there's over like 200 now, but I mean, right, there was like 102, you said 106 likes? 103 likes, and then well over $100 in PayPal.
We did right out $100 in PayPal, and then we had like after YouTube's cut, it was about $13 in Super Chat.
Nice work. Oh, that's great, man. Congratulations. That's really cool.
Absolutely wonderful, man. It was just
was interesting as you were kind of going through the rolling credits if you were this morning, and and what you said about the guys that asked like the correct questions and that sort of thing. And there was a part of me that was thinking, there's going to be some tool that basically comes to the channel and makes some comment about who she is, right? Because she's not like this 35 kilo bar girl, right, who's like 21 years old. So therefore, oh my God, clearly she's not, she doesn't fit the profile. But it was neat how she addressed that, right? I mean, she says, look, I'm a rare commodity over here.
Yeah.
Like, this is not. Yeah. And like I've heard from other expat females over here, one of the things they usually always seem to sort of agree on and comment on is like, no guys hit on me,
Right.
And I can't help but wonder, like, I don't know about you, but like my first day here, the whole, oh my God, they're all hitting on me thing. I mean, that helped the ego. That was pretty cool.
Ego went.
Yeah, no, totally. Right. And then Yeah, as did
and
some
then,
other things.
And then you understand, eventually you understand why they're all hitting on you. And
right,
your ego
exactly,
goes like this. It goes from up here to...
Yeah, you're looking at your pockets going, wait, it's like 4,000 baht that I just dropped on the floor. You know? Like, I didn't just drop my resume, and all of a sudden they were like, oh my God, Kun Mike. You know, no. And so, but to that point, I remember, I mean, okay, Pati, great example. So at the time I had a Thai girlfriend, and it was like, I think it was like I don't know if you've ever been there for this, the International Fireworks Festival. Have you ever been to Pattaya on the beach when they were doing that? I think it was October, right? Yeah. So we're there, and there's a whole bunch of us down there. It was kind of like the final day or night of it. And Malie was her name. And she walked, from our hotel or whatever, like 2 blocks. And she's like, God, so many guys talk to me. I'm like, yes, well, there's that. And I can see, especially as a woman, right, how that would be like, okay, this is not, exactly what I wanted. These aren't guys in, $900 suits asking me for Starbucks, to hang out with me. So that probably must be pretty refreshing for her, actually, right? Did she go into a lot of detail on that, or?
She didn't go into a super amount of detail on that, but she led me to believe she's one of those people who has such a, you meet somebody, you look at them for the first time, and you think, yeah, I mean, we're all judgmental in our own way. It's just what we choose to do with that judgment, right? So right, exactly. You look at them and you're like, okay, cool, maybe, I don't know, that kind of thing. Right. So I had been messenger back and forth all week, right? About right. A lot, just different things, and I could just tell, I had that feeling that she was going to be a really cool chick, that kind of to come on. Man, she came on the show and she was just no problem, cool as hell, man. I mean, just down to earth, and you got really, I couldn't ask for a better guest to come on the show yesterday. It was, and Aztec was kicking some ass yesterday. By the way, he was
kicking some Aztec.
He was kicking some Aztec. He was going after people with the like button, and he was commanding the live stream. He did a good job, as well were my moderators and many other people
waving his arms in the air.
Out in my mind.
Pay attention.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it's a live stream worth listening to. It starts off a little bit slow, but after about 10 minutes of the stream, and she starts talking and people are asking questions, it's just nonstop, man. Nonstop.
Yeah. I mean, she's obviously had a microphone in front of her face, before. And there's really nothing that says ridicule than being a stand-up comedian.
That's right.
So she's probably got a thick skin.
My earbuds tend to die. We figured it out around 2.5 hours. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's when they die. And if I put them back in the case for about 5 minutes, they'll last.
You get another hour.
Yeah, you get about another hour, right? So for 5 minutes, I'm dead. I got nothing. She's entertaining the whole crowd.
You're like, yeah, I'm just going to take a short break. I'll tell you what, I'm going to get a massage. You go for it, JoJo. It's all you. I got no ego in this thing. You go for it.
No ego. And I watched your video. I watched your video yesterday when you were standing on the coast of San Diego, and
right.
You were talking about the best part about it was, and I hope everybody understands the importance of this. The best part about it was you were talking about things that you wanted to do, like today, 3 years ago,
right?
And you're doing them.
Yeah, thank you. That was it's interesting because
I see an almost dead mosquito. Hang on, go ahead.
I'm an almost dead. Well, first take the saddle off of it if it's large. But yeah, and it's fun. You're right, and I've actually had the encouragement by a lot of you guys to go back to videos that I did 1, 2, 3, even 4, maybe even 5 years ago. because a lot of you, and thank you very much, have like found my channel either through Jeremy or Rob or whoever it was, Rike, or just, searching for crazy white guy, enter, bam. And then going back through a number of videos, not the least of which, of course, is the ability to mock me, because when I had hair, I looked like a jackass. But, and say, so the reason that I posted that on Facebook was the fact that there was a gentleman who asked a question, which was like, okay, dude, so like 3 years later, like now that you're living there, can you do like a cost of living video? And you and I have talked about this before. And of course, it's almost like
over and over. Yeah.
Well, and again, I know
it's the never ending question, right?
That and visas.
It's always, and I sum it up quick, that people hear, what is the cost of living? Can I live off $1,200 a month? I don't know. What do you want to spend?
Yeah.
What do you want your lifestyle to be like? And you basically just hammered that home. I've got video after video on that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a very common, and it's almost a rite of passage, right? It's like, well, I'm an expat vlogger in Thailand. Clearly, I need to do a cost of living, and I always referred to it as cost of life, right? And I got to tell you right now, people be like, "Can I live on $1,200?" Dude, you can live on $1,200 a month in Barstow, California. But the problem is every morning you wake up and you're in Barstow, California. So. It's a big difference between Barstow and Beverly Hills, and but they're both in California, and so I understand the reasoning behind it, and so what I usually will do is say, look, dude, if you want basically a similar quality of life, and you've been living in a place like San Diego, my math is usually like, look, it's going to cost you 30% of that to live here in San Diego, but I think do not qualify enough by saying in a city like San Diego, because one guy came back and he's like, dude, my cost of living here in Texas costs me what you're talking about in Thailand. So you're telling me it's going to cost like $1,500. He's like, you're telling me it's going to cost me $500 a month to live in Thailand? And I'm like, dude, if you're living anywhere in the United States for $1,500 a month and you're comfy, then you're basically going to be living for $1,500 a month in Thailand, because there's a level of comfort again, but it's my opinion, right? Just like it's yours.
I hear you 100%. Can I take one small minute here to
dude, you got people pucking money at you?
Yep. Thanking my good friend, you're doing that the right way, Roger. My good friend and moderator, Roger McGee, has kicked off a $25
there you go. Outstanding. Good job, dude.
Yeah, he says, not sure how you and Mike are doing these contributions, so I just did the normal way. Y'all figure it out, LOL.
Oh, yeah, no. There's no figuring it out. It's all Jeremy.
It's real simple. Use my PayPal link, or you use the Doodly/DoMore PayPal. For me,
yeah, that goes
for me,
Jeremy.
and for Mike, you do the smoothie one, right?
Buymeasmoothie.com.
Buymeasmoothie.com. Yeah.
Tell your friends. And the other nice thing, if you guys don't know, the reason that I wanted to use buymeasmoothie.com is because there is this service. It's called Buy Me a Coffee. But the point is that the neat thing is it's not just like, donating money. Not that that's a bad thing. Trust me, because money is necessary to travel anywhere. But it also gives you guys the ability to download my book, my story in the book that, gratefully hit #1 on Amazon. And it's called Defining Moments of Courage. And because I have the rights, of course, to my story, but not other people's, then I'm allowed to basically just share this PDF. And so I threw that up there, and it's like a couple of bucks if you want to download it. If you care about like who I am and what I did and why I believe that I'm the luckiest friggin' guy in the world that I get up to wake up this morning. But with all that said, I tell you what, we've probably had a bunch of comments going through here. I'm sure like you guys will email you directly. And Todd is definitely one of those, doorman here. And he was sending me information and something that I know we're going to want to talk about today, which is, the ability to basically get to Thailand. And his sort of in is probably going to be, he's been talking about potentially getting in through like sort of Cambodia if necessary. But he's going through the elite visa, which we all know is very expensive. And so to dovetail onto that, what I'm hearing about the, they're going to let tourists in on October 1st. Well, yes, but you basically have to be wealthy is the short answer, because they're not going to allow international flights on October 1st. You can come in on your own private jet and a charter all day long.
Right, but you also said on a Facebook comment, look at the bottom right corner of the sheet, and it says no retirement visas, that kind of thing, right?
Yes, because it's for long stay people, but not retirees. Okay, because long stay people that are retirees basically come here and stay here. It is for long stay tourists. And so, therefore, what they want to do is have people that, again, no international flights. So it's like the only way you're getting in here is either on your own plane or your buddy's plane that you rent. And then go ahead.
Real quick. Eric in Virginia asked this question yesterday, and I guess he's wanting to hear your opinion on it. So JoJo answered it, I answered it, but he says, "Are there any advantages of owning a condo as opposed to renting?"
Well, I assume he means in Thailand and not in general.
Yeah, in Thailand.
So you want my opinion? Is that why you wanted to?
Yeah, because I've already given him mine, and JoJo gave him hers. So
it's an advantage to owning a condo if you're someone who feels like it's better for you to own a condo. Do the financial analysis, but I do not want to own a condo. The last thing I want to do, because here's the thing. The answer is yes, it's better if you're going to own if you're going to buy that condo and you are committed to staying exactly right there for the next 20 years in Thailand, because you can buy that thing in less than 2 months and you can sell that thing in less than 10 years. It's going to take you decade to sell that thing, dude, if it's on the market. There is a glutton of condos over here, and you're likely going to buy a brand new one. If you buy a brand new one, then spoiler alert, in about 2 years, that condo is going to be old, because next door, there's going to be a brand new condo. Now, the comps, if you will, if you want to compare it to like the MLS back in the United States, are going to allow your condo probably to increase in value. So there's that option. However, the rents over here, in comparison to, let's say for the sake of argument, you can, but you won't, but you could get a 30-year mortgage at like 4%. Okay. And then the fantasy in the United States is that you take out that sort of mortgage on a piece of property and you effectively rent the thing for either equal to or more than, ideally, your mortgage payment. Okay. And that's not, even if you were to do the math on that, I mean, the rent over here is incredibly cheap. So I believe it gives you more flexibility, more money in your, because I can tell you right now, dude, like the increase in investment that I hope all of you too have seen in the last like 3 months, just from the stock market, you're delusional if you're going to get that on your condo here. I mean, it's been 200% for God's sake for Amazon. Since they announced they're going to hire 200,000 people. And, so the Thai government's not going to announce that they're going to basically, make 200,000 condos. And all of a sudden that increases the value.
Something else I forgot to mention yesterday. I agreed entirely with renting, because you can, just for the simple fact that you're not stuck, right? But something that I failed to mention in terms of renting that I think Eric might be interested in is, or owning a condo, is the fact that he seems to want to own one real bad. Like he's got that. Okay. Yeah, I think he wants to own one. But the problem with that is, if you want to own one now, then you have to find one that's already built, because they do it differently here in Thailand. See, you don't have a constructor come in, make a condo complex, and then you buy the condo. What you do here, if you want a brand new condo that's being launched, is you pay for the condo before it's ever built, and the builders here will not build the structure until they have enough money to build the whole structure. And that's what I've ran into many times. Mike, you might know a little loopholes in that, but that's kind of the summation of what I understand about buying. So you might buy, if you want a brand new condo, you might buy a brand new condo, but it might be 10 years before you get to live in it.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're a large, like Sansiri, for example, they're one of the largest, condo property builders here in Thailand. And interestingly enough, I mean, it wasn't anything awesome about me. It was absolutely random. And so one of the condos that Gracie and I rented through Airbnb, the guy that owned it, he was on the board of Sansiri. And so we were talking about that. And I said, God, you guys have new properties everywhere. He's like, oh, yeah, we've got about 1,500 projects right now. I'm like, excuse me? So in other words, you're putting the entire construction, industry to work. And again, a project doesn't mean that he's broken ground and they're putting up a 7-story piece of concrete. Okay. But the point is that he's got all this. So they have big loans, that they've taken out, of course. And so it's not, they don't just like wait for everyone. But to be fair, there's tons of commonality in a lot of projects, which is it's not built yet. Here is the model. And we guarantee you 8% a year. And I'm like, okay, that's academically interesting, but I'm like 8% a year. That's ridiculous. I mean, you'd have to be asleep and not even look at one of your investment portfolio, in my opinion. But again, like you said, Eric wants to own a condo. So it's a great idea, dude. It's like, should I buy a car? If you're a car guy, buy a car.
Yeah, he's come out now and he says, thanks, I appreciate Jeremy and JoJo's opinion. I just wanted a third opinion. I will invest $200,000 in stock and just rent there. I would probably come out better in the long run. Thanks. So, and I agree with it 100%. What's up, Charlie? Good to see you this morning. Cheap Charlie just dropped by, and or I guess that's Cheap Charlie. I don't know. He's got several channels. So anyway, but please continue, Mike.
I wanted to make sure I can see both chats. So,
hey, Gordon. Good morning.
Hey, Gordon. All right. So Todd's been sending me some email updates, which Todd, I really, really appreciate it. Right. And we go back and forth occasionally. And as he's mentioned here in a few of the chats that I've thrown up there, he's basically got a Cambodian visa that he's got as he refers to it as a backup or an emergency, i.e. a way to get over to this part of the world with the long-term goal of getting into Thailand. Mm-hmm. He's also got an elite visa, which, as we know, you can have an elite visa all day long. They still need to prove you that you can get into the country. But that said, Of course, there is the barrier with the retirement visa. And one thing I will mention is it Eric that was asking about the condos? Mm-hmm. I lost my view of the chat. If you're looking for long-term stay over here, there is the option if you do buy one of those condos, and they will rent it out for you. And if 8% is whatever it is, but it's the infamous, it's better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick, right? A lot of these condo properties will give you a 5 and 10 year or 10-year visa, and so that's not nothing, and that's actually a big benefit that a lot of people, and we're just going to start talking about. Benefit is for people over here. And in fact, I looked at 2 properties. They were down in Prantham Hill and by Pattaya, and I was looking at those. And both of them came with 10-year visas, meaning they came with a 5-year visa that renews once. Right. Now that basically an elite visa. Now that doesn't mean that you can still get in the country right now. I'm only getting a 2-year visa, but my 2-year visa is a B visa, and it's going to have a work permit, and I'm going to be able to get in the country all day long, provided I've got about 300,000 baht in my pocket, and I have to stay in a hotel for 2 weeks, 15 days. And so there's that option. And so anyway, the point is that there's a lot of options to everything, right? Which is why I always say the answer to everything is it depends.
That's right.
People hate, basically. So what have you, because I know you do research as well, what has sort of been your top 10 data points on this whole October 1st, people can come to Phuket headline that is pretty inaccurate?
Yeah, I've read all that. I didn't get to read the news this morning, but as of yesterday, whatever is what I say.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I can't sit here and tell people not to waste their time and money, because Thailand certainly needs the visitors. And I love Thailand, and they need the, but basically what it's come down, they need the income, and I hope it all works out well for them. But basically, this is my interpretation of it. So if I'm wrong, feel free to tell me I'm wrong. But from everything I've read, so you get to fly into Phuket. You get to go to your ASQ or whatever it is. SQ, whatever.
ASQ. Yep.
ASQ, and for 14 days. And after that, there's a little bitty part of Phuket that you can explore. Okay. And then they give you like another 7 days or so. And then you can like move around the island more. Okay. And then after like another certain period of time that they'll set, then you can start moving around the country a little bit. But you're gonna be traced, and everything that you do is gonna be done that way. So I don't know who I live here, so I have to be very careful what I say. But and I love I really love Thailand. I just think that they've gotten so far behind in GDP this year, and rightfully so. It's not their fault. I mean, it's not the Thai government's fault. In fact, Thailand did a better job than anybody else I know of
number one in the world.
Yeah, number one in the world. So big congrats to them. But I think this program is just, and I think it's gonna not do well. That's my opinion, because you're gonna have to be a traveler that has at least 30 days to travel.
Because you have to stay here for a minimum of 30 days.
Yeah, so you're gonna and you're gonna spend half of those in ASQ, and
right.
I mean that's my opinion on it, Mike.
Interestingly enough, my opinion on it is that it's a really great step in the right direction, and I sort of view it as a very similar economic model to sometimes new brands that come out. And I think the greatest example of that, potentially, certainly one that we all know, is Tesla. The first Tesla that came out did not cost $99.99. Okay. It was very expensive. And it was only after he had pretty much, I think we could label it pretty damn wild success. The whole company. Yes, it's led by a leader, but obviously it's a whole company. I get it. More than one person. Did they finally come up with a car that was, like 35,000 US in the US? So the way I look at it is they're like, okay, these are basically going to be the early adopters. And they also, let's be really clear. I mean, you got to stay here for a minimum of 30 days. But I mean, like you said, I mean, the people that are going to come over here, they're not going to be like, oh my God, I can't wait till I go to the beach for 2 days. And then I got to get my ass into a coffee shop and on my laptop so I can basically do drop shipping and make enough money to be able to pay for my, no. These people effectively have an unlimited amount of money. And they're a great control group, because I would argue that or the majority of people certainly that I've met that are in that socioeconomic bucket, they're fairly clear-headed in thinking. And so they're not going to have any sort of pushback. The likelihood of someone like sort of straying off, yes, that's possible, but I don't think it's real probable. But what I heard is, as far as the data point was, yes, you come in and you basically stay in your complex, your condo, your resort. And yes, you can go within a 1 kilometer radius. However, after that, I believe that you can go somewhere else. The example that I was listening to was, okay, let's say you leave Phuket and you go to Chiang Mai. And if you go to Chiang Mai, then you need to do ASQ there for 7 days. So you do the 14-day quarantine, and then you would need to do another 7. And then after that, you can, I guess, travel in the kingdom for however long. But, they're not even allowing OX visas in, and to get like an OX, I mean, that's basically a 10-year retirement visa. You gotta pony up some serious cash, right? And so, in my serious cash, in my opinion, I also don't rent private jets.
Dude, you're talking about serious cash. You're talking to a school teacher, bro.
Yeah. No. I know, and that's why that's your opinion, and that totally makes sense to me. But I mean, from my perspective, I think it's a great thing that Thailand is doing, because you got to get a small sample size to see if this thing works. And again, you could argue that, well, but they're just targeting. I mean, what are they going to do? Say, okay, we're going to pick, 150, because right now, they only bring like 200 in at a time on the international flight.
Right.
You know, and that's sort of difficult, right? Because they're not sort of all doing the same thing. Whereas this, they would all pretty much be doing the same thing. And, you know, whether they're all going to stay on Millionaire Mile and like do Airbnbs afterwards, who knows? But, you know, I think it's a pretty good idea as far as control group. But I think it's also, you know, important for us to realize that this is a story that is obviously evolving, but it's interesting, but it doesn't apply to us at all. You know, that could be the disappointment, but still, I think it's a very good idea. And, you know, again, I think it highlights the fact that like Thailand's like, yeah, look, we need some cash, but we're not going to put our health in jeopardy just to make some money, dude. We're Thailand. This is Asia. We see 50 years out, you know?
Right.
And so anyway, so I'm a fan of it so far.
Hello,
and I know
Ben
we're
Newton.
way behind on comments.
Yeah, I just want to say hello to a few people. Hello, Ben Newton. Hello, there's Eric. He's still talking. Rupert, my man. Good to see you. Thank you for coming by. Dion the Nomad is in the house. He says Phuket is a good spot to test it out. Of course, yeah, I agree with that. And from what Mike just said, kind of changed my opinion a little bit because only because I see his point about understanding people with, you know, tons of money. And so they don't have to, it's a lot different than just your average tourist. Phuket is a good spot to test it out. Easy to close it off if needed. They desperately need the money there. 90% tourism economy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So like,
you said Eric's still on your side, because I did want to highlight this comment that Tom made on mine, which is he just bought a condo
Eric's
down in Rayong. Yeah, he just bought a condo in Rayong that the guy was asking 1.2 and he sold it for 800,000. And I don't disagree that now is a better time to buy, certainly than last November. You know, right before like high season. So I agree with you, Tom. I think again, if you're a guy that wants to like buy real estate and potentially, you know, make more money or just feel more comfortable owning something, I can appreciate that. But yeah, it is a buyer's market. I would agree with that.
Good morning, stuck in Florida. I'm so happy to see you. Thank you for what was absolutely lovely yesterday. Absolutely.
We should just call him Dr. Like Button.
Part of it. Yes, Dr. Like Button. That's for sure. I'm not trying to change the subject. I'm just trying to find some comments that are going along with what we're
I wanted to say hello to Side Trip Life, because he's come over to my channel a couple times. I don't know if you ever watched his channel. He has an awesome channel, and I love his delivery of information.
Yeah, I watched one of his videos, and his delivery was absolutely awesome. So I'd like to say hello to him as well. I don't remember seeing him on my channel, but he may have popped up from time to time.
I think he subscribed last time, yeah, if I recall.
Okay. But he may have. Gordon brings up a good point.
Go ahead.
He says one thing is for sure. Thailand is not rushing anything with lifting travel restrictions. They're taking a very prudent approach. So
I agree with that assessment. That's sort of my level, is that they're doing, you know, because again, look, here's the thing too, is that I think they're quite aware that, hey, if we allow new people in, there's going to be new cases. So, you know, and that's just the way it works, you know. So I think that they're good with that. They're not the whole, well, you know, one death is too many. Well, yeah, it is, but it's also the way God planned it. Like, because if you know, there's a need for birth, you know, and therefore that means that there's a need for death. And I think that, you know, while sad and disappointing, it's really the suffering, you know. I mean, trust me, I'm not planning to live to 150 and architecting my finances according. No. I mean, I've got a realistic, you know, I'm not an actuary by any means, you know, and I'm not that cold hearted. But the point is that, you know, I'm like, look, there's a finite amount of life. And that was sort of, that's a point to many of my videos, actually, which is like, look, dude, we got this one gig. This is a dress rehearsal. This is no dress rehearsal. We're doing this right now. We need to do more life, right? I mean, to your point.
It's coming for me. It's coming for me because I've got the plan. You know, I've got the plan in place, and it's just going to take falling on my face a few times. And you know, I was talking with my friend yesterday.
Yeah.
And
is that still progressing?
Everything's a go, and these guys are going to be. You guys are going to be so happy if everything goes according to plan in about a year or so. So we'll see what happens. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I just because I wanted to highlight a few things that that Side Trip Life brought up, which is the sort of the requirements and the process. If you do in fact want to go to Cambodia, it's the $3,000, which interestingly enough, I swear I read somewhere recently that it's $2,000. So I'm not sure.
Too. I read that. Did also.
Yeah. Okay. Oh no, I'm sorry. He did say $2,000 deposit. Okay, cool. Sorry, I misread. But yeah, it's like $150, $165 for the test, and then you're looking at a hotel, for the first night, and provided no one else on your plane, has it, which again,
exactly,
that's good. But I think the bottom line is that look, if you're thinking about like just traveling, like we used to travel, like a lot of us used to travel. I mean, my fantasy was to have to stay in another country for a minimum of 30 days, but that. Real world doesn't work like that, especially in the US where they're like, well, we're going to give you a whole 10 days of vacation this year. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Then I'm going to have a lot more sick days then. Precisely. Yeah. Oh, thank you, boss. But yeah, to the point that Todd has been, and also I noticed that on my comments, Todd and others actually, but I think mostly Todd has been putting up URLs to Bangkok Post articles, which I tend to agree are fairly accurate. There's a bias to everybody, but I think that the data that Bangkok Post gives is usually pretty accurate, and I believe that you can trust it. And so I think to that, I think the reality is, and that's the reason that why I titled my video today for the boys of Bangkok, is that like, look, you're going to be coming here in 2021. I mean, you can smoke opium all you want, but I think, you might want to, sit down and pour yourself a big glass of reality and sip on that thing basically all the way through, high season. Because now, to be fair, as you've noticed, Jeremy, living here, I mean, they can change their mind. And if all of a sudden,
not only can they, will they? They will. Yeah, they will.
It's true.
They will do something different one way or the other. I also want to say that, fuck, I had such a good thought in my head and it just went away.
People are like, Mike, why do you use this old analog technology to write things down?
I know, right? That's what I need. I need to fuck, I had a good thought, man. But I wanted to say a few things about like the whole travel situation. One of my friends was in Pattaya last night, and he posted something today and said, people say Pattaya is dead. He said, I partied till 6 a.m. this morning like I've never partied before in Pattaya.
Where?
So that, well, he's got a network of clubs around there, right?
Okay. So a nightclub.
In the main part, like the Ombokau, Metro, and Walking, all that stuff. He's around there. I also just subscribed to Side Trip Life channel.
He's a good guy. Still waiting on that beta test, buddy.
But he was telling me that it's not dead, so I'm definitely going to go there at some point and check it out myself.
So that was Saturday night, and I totally agree. I've heard the exact same thing about Patong. I was like sitting on, Bangalore Road and talking to some ladies trying to sell me T-shirts, but it was like completely empty, right? And at night, it's pretty darn empty. I mean, but yeah, the places are open, and the discos are definitely open. Sing Sing is going full tilt boogie here in Bangkok, and so I get that. So I mean, I'm glad he's dispelling that myth, that it's completely dead. It's not like lockdown anymore. But I mean, and to be fair, it's also August in Pattaya, and it's not like that's friggin' high season by any means, right?
Right. And there's not, but still there's not any, there's some of the people that have to leave have already left. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And it's going to be getting lower and lower. And I read an article by a former YouTuber who he's really got his finger on the nightlife, both in Bangkok and Pattaya. And he understands it. And he says, right now is the golden season, because even when tourists start to come back, when they let them back, it's probably going to be, a year to 2 years before it gets back to normal.
Yeah.
Like, sure. with the travel coming back to normal and that kind of thing, and which makes perfect sense, 100% perfect sense.
Yeah. I mean, you got to realize that it's a change, right?
Yeah, definitely. I also want to tell you guys something really cool. So this is off topic a little bit. We'll come back to traveling for sure. But yesterday I ordered some tea. I know that sounds like really, really boring, but I'm going to explain to you what I did and why.
Mr.
So I worked
T?
with this guy. Huh? No, TT, regular tea.
Got it.
There's this store in Chiang Rai. Okay, they have a website that you can go to, but it's in Chiang Rai. And I was like, I need to go up there and make a video at some point in time. But the store's in Chiang Rai. And so what I did, they don't speak a lot of English. So what I did was place my order, took a picture of the order page, and then sent it through Line. And then they sent me the bank information. I just transferred and paid for it, no problem. Yep. Now, I paid about 1,600 baht for everything, but I had to get like a cup and a filter because this is tea that you have to make, right? Yeah. Luckily, we have a hot water strainer at work. Now, let me tell you about this tea. So I got a couple different kinds. I got the green tea with lemongrass for just general purpose drinking, right? It's got no caffeine, or it's got a very low amount of caffeine in it. Okay. Which is great for me.
You don't like caffeine?
Yeah, I'm not a big caffeine person, but okay. It also has, I got peppermint tea, which should be good for the good old digestive system. And Agreed. Then I got this Gabaron tea. So brief explanation of what that is. This guy at work is the one that turned me on to the store, right? He let me try this Gabaron tea before he left, and it basically does. I mean, I was shocked when I drank this cup of tea because it basically releases GABA in the brain, right? And if you know anything about GABA, you know that's the chemical that calms everything down. Okay. But it's loaded up a little bit in caffeine. So you get this clarity of mind, this calm, peaceful clarity of mind while you're sipping this tea. You don't, and they tell you, don't drink more than 3 glasses a day, more than 3 days a week.
Right,
because it can become, yeah, because you just fall asleep or whatever. But anyway, I'm excited about my tea, and I just want to share my excitement about my tea. Okay.
I've never been. I got buddies that they are very into tea, and I got one buddy who's ridiculous, and he just like basically wants to buy the most expensive tea just to say that he bought the most expensive tea. That to me, that doesn't make it taste any better. For him, it does. And I would say that I really like tea. The problem is I also really like efficiency, and I'm lazy, and so therefore I really like how long it doesn't take me to make 3-in-1. And I mean, everyone could argue, look at 3-in-1. I mean, it's like 20% sugar, and it's like fake milk and stuff, but it is at least it's Robusta beans, which I totally prefer over Arabica, which is I think they're way too bitter. So, but I'm not a big coffee guy either. So how long is it going to take to get here? I mean, are they just shipping it from Chiang Rai? So it's just like
they're going to ship it. They're going to ship it from Monday. They are they'll ship it from. Hang on, let me make sure I sent that comment. Roger was asking about. I talked about. There's somebody I've never seen called Viral Crunch, and he says peace.
Right on.
Peace to you, Viral Crunch. But what did you ask me, Mike? Oh, if I'm how long is it going to take to get here? Yeah, it's going to take. I would imagine it'll probably take a week to get here. But the whole point of me doing this is, so they've got me on some natural medicine now that's working. Right.
Nice. Excellent.
I'm trying my very best to limit the amount of man-made medication I need to take
Sure.
For the hypertension, every day. I'm trying my best to limit that.
And why?
Because
is it because you're having side effects, or you just want to?
No, it's because I want. It's because I want to live a long, healthy life. I mean, and if my plan goes according to plan, and I keep hanging around good people. That's what I tell people when I met my good people that's got a good business mind that'll give me good information. If I keep doing that in 10 years, guys, I'm going to be, like I'm going to be like Mike. That's that
no hair.
Be like Mike.
Got to look forward to.
But yeah, I want to be able to live and travel and not have to worry about if I eat like you said in that video that I watched yesterday, not worry about if I ate a $40 steak or a $30 steak. I prefer the $30, but if it's 40, whatever, I don't have to worry about it.
I just want to know how the one that tastes better. I mean, that's the short answer.
Yeah. Absolutely. Exactly. And somebody made a good point. We were talking about health insurance here in the Kingdom yesterday.
Yeah.
Actually, I had quite a few girls that came on the stream to talk to JoJo.
I think there was like a Heather that stopped in. That was great.
Heather, yep, it was great. But we were talking about health insurance, and I was like, look, man, health insurance is one of the most important deals coming to Thailand, especially now. You have to have some kind of Thai health insurance. So, I'm sorry, I was looking at Todd's comment about I disagree with the case. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Listen, I'm not a radio guy, so I'm not
it's not a requirement, dude. It's not a requirement.
Yeah, I tend to bounce back and forth a little bit, but the thing about it is, I just think that I want to live a healthy, prosperous life. That's my new thing. Is DoMoreLife to me now means healthy and prosperous. I don't want to be. I don't want to be any more dependent. There are medications that I'm going to have to take for the rest of my life. I understand that. It is what it is. But if I can limit the amount of man-made medication and do it naturally, then it's probably going to be much better on my body in the long run, and that's what excites me. And Thailand, believe it or not, is a great place to start with some of that natural remedy medication and stuff. Okay,
yeah.
Boom, something interesting.
I agree. I mean, I actually I understand the financial argument for not buying insurance. And especially, because it's a risk reward discussion, right? But I will tell you that every sort of accident that I got into, with the exception of probably one, honestly, none of them were my fault. I was not like, oh my God, Mike, why'd you get mugged? Well, I was only like completely naked doing cocaine on Walking Street at 4 a.m. I mean, it's not like I waited till 6. No, I mean, it was like, dude, I was like sitting on the street, just like all the other traffic. I had a helmet on. She had a helmet on. We weren't moving. I was, or I had my seat. Anyway, but my point is to all of that is that actually a very great example I think is in Pattaya. I got in my first motorbike accident and I blacked out basically for 30 minutes. And the good news is that for whatever reason, I had had a discussion with this friend that I was with about a night or a day before that about insurance. Cause she's like, what's up with like the Farang having insurance? Oh yeah, I always have, and all this stuff. And for whatever reason, I said to her, hey, so just so you know, and I'm thinking I'm joking, right? Just so you know, if I ever get in an accident, this is where this little plastic bag, which of course I learned that thing going to Songkran long enough, put everything in a friggin' plastic bag. This is my insurance card. This is my passport and all that stuff. And I said, if anything ever happens, just basically say to the driver or the ambulance, take us to the most expensive, best hospital in town. He's got this. And so I wake up basically 30 minutes later and I'm like, I didn't even have to think about it. It was just like I was there. And I I love that. And again, you also got to remember, guys, that I come from the United States, where I grew up basically getting a lot of insurance for a lot of things. I got car insurance, theft, auto, home, fire, the whole deal. And went my whole family has used State Farm for years, and so I've had a car stolen, and then literally I think it was less than 48 hours there was like they gave me a check and they're like, okay, we'll just go buy a new car because that's what you've been paying for the last few years, kind of thing. So anyway, I'm a big fan of insurance because, again, like, I don't really care whether the steak costs $30 or $40 or $50. If I want a steak, I'm going to buy a friggin' steak. I don't really care how much it's going to cost to save my life.
Well,
so
yeah.
I
mean, that goes, yeah.
And so anyway, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I understand that completely. Continue, please.
And it's really inexpensive over here. You got to remember, there was one gentleman who came to my channel I saw his comment and I put it up there, and I'll just address it briefly. He said, "What is it going to cost me to retire in Thailand?" And so if this helps you, $11,000 a month. How's that? Just make sure you have that and you'll be fine. That's Mike's opinion. You can watch a whole other bunch of YouTube videos, but unless you have $11,000 a month that you can basically throw in a fireplace and it won't affect the quality of life, don't come. And I know that's tongue in cheek, as they say, but the bottom line is that it's very, very subjective. It's like, how much insurance should I have?
I think, I get it, man. I totally get it. I was wondering, I was trying to send this out on my channel over here.
Side trip. Thanks a lot for coming by, dude. I really appreciate it. I love your videos. You're probably gone by now. I'm not too far behind. 9:18 and we're at 9:22. So I'm not too far behind on my comments, but yeah, I really appreciate it. And again, I really hope you come up with that beta test of that software. He's got this pretty interesting idea for sort of a collaborative way of providing content on the internet. So I was like, yeah, sure. So I hope there's a bunch of other people that have wanted to be a beta tester for it too. So that would be really cool. Since you guys are on the topic of health, there's a question I've had for a while. Obviously, retiring in Thailand has its benefits, but what happens when a single Western retiree gets elderly? Health problems, mobility problems, cognitive problems, etc. Have you guys seen any cases like that? Yes, absolutely. And I'll let Jeremy talk on this too. But my experience with my friends that have gotten into that scenario is they've either had a very close relationship with a Thai woman who is taking care of them, or they have paid for basically in-home care. And all of my friends, if you've done those two scenarios, that is what they did basically before they passed away. I have not had experience with my friends going through hospice here. There are no retirement home. Well, there probably there's retirement areas. Okay. But there's no like, retirement homes sort of thing like we would have in the US. But it's been my experience with my friends that, they always have sort of a companion, usually if it's your spouse kind of thing, or certainly a very close girlfriend or someone that you're, very committed to emotionally as well as, potentially financially. A lot of times it's not just her, it's her whole family. It's her sister. It's, they really want to take care of you. You're not going to be like left out in the cold, like potentially could happen in the US. Jeremy.
My experience has been basically exactly what Mike just said. I don't have a lot to add to that because if you're older and elderly and you retire over here, and you have mobility problems, then you're going to, not only are you going to need great insurance. I recommend AIA. That's what I have. They have really good prices for what the coverage that you get. And also something you have to keep in mind, something people don't understand about Southeast Asian culture just in general, right? Particularly in Thailand and Philippines. The reason that girls have babies so young is because they want those and they have a lot of them, is because that is their social security system. That is their retirement system. They take care of their parents and grandparents and that kind of thing. The kids do. And that cycle repeats over and over and over. So if you have no Thai girlfriend and or that Thai girlfriend has, or wife has, not much family to speak of, I would question because there is no like assisted living places that I'm aware of, Mike.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, assisted living.
Yeah. There's no places like that. So you got to kind of ask yourself, is it going to be worth it? Maybe I can if you got the money, get yourself an elite visa and you can pop in whenever you want to, when you're feeling healthy and that kind of thing. But if you come over here and you're definitely going to have mobility problems, and I just don't know that it would be worth it. I always encourage people to travel. Don't get me wrong. I always encourage people to travel, get out, do things that challenge themselves. What you may find is that once you get over here, get health insurance, and get a good doctor, that you don't have those problems as bad anymore, and they become less and less.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
Or you can have the same problems, but because you're in paradise, they don't
care.
Yeah, exactly. They don't hurt as much. It's so true. I'm reading up on this Phuket thing real quick.
Oh, right on. Cool. I know that, obviously, like, if you go to Blumengrad, right, they're going to have pretty much every service available to you. And, they can assign you a live-in nurse kind of thing, right? But, I will touch on one thing, DC, about the mobility problems thing. Obviously, there's no AMA requirements over here that every single sidewalk have like a ramp to it so that you could literally take a wheelchair from point A to point B. I think, hey, Charlie just threw you some money. Nice work.
Threw me some money?
Yeah, look at that. You got a super sticker of some flying green ape.
Oh, Charlie, thanks, man. I wasn't looking at my comments, so thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. Thanks very much,
dude. That's very
good stuff. Good stuff. Absolutely. Thanks for throwing up the PayPal link for me, guys. Also, but thanks, Charlie. Much appreciated. Okay, go ahead, Mike. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I have seen scenario. In fact, I have a buddy who I met in Pattaya, and he brought his mom over here, and she was in a wheelchair the whole time. And so you can get around, but don't have the expectation that it's going to be anything like. The sidewalks are uneven. So that's a difficult thing. If you're restricted to a wheelchair, and you're like on Medicare, which basically is, good enough, then I would potentially consider getting back to the US if that's an option for you.
Okay, so we got I got two things I got to mention real quick.
Oh, cool.
I love Roger when he just gets dialed in, and he's dialed in at the moment. So he says, what Eric asked, is it true you can hire a registered nurse for $1,000 to $1,500 US a month? I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure. Roger then says, let's get some contributions. One channel needs $100, 75 to go.
So, that's right. Yeah. You did 100 yesterday. Do 100 today.
Yeah, he's talking about doing that. Good. That's good, Roger. $75 to go. I love it. And Eric says full time. Yes, you could get full time care for that kind of money. And
live in.
Eric says, "Hey Roger, Eric says, hey Roger, want to split the 75? Wow, that would be awesome."
There you guys go. That's look at all these wealthy tourists you got over on your channel, dude.
I know. Well, they know I have a vacation coming up, and I'm going to be shooting a lot of content. And the more that travel or the channel fund in general is, the more cushion is there, the more I can do.
Have you decided on a destination rather?
I'm going to have weekend. At some point, I'm going to cruise through Pattaya on that weekend. I probably won't stay but a day, maybe two. Okay. And then I'm going to go I may go down to like Sattahip or something, because I've only been there once, and it was it was a day trip kind of thing. Or I may get a private boat again, this is all depending on travel fund. I may get a private boat to take me back to some of the islands out off of Pattaya, and go out there, and I won't have anybody with me this time. Maybe one girl or something, and go out there and just take, some different footage than I did the last time I was there, because the last time I was there, I was dragging around a bunch of equipment, had several people with me, and it was just
what is oh, look at that.
Look
Dude,
at
you
that.
are
I just got
raking
something.
it in.
Well, Roger, this is what I wanted to tell you. I'm getting ready to thank that in just a second. But Roger says there is a assisted living facility in Chiang Mai specializing in dementia.
That's
I
right.
did not know that.
Yeah. I mean, they have recovery centers here too, so I mean.
Yeah, and Eric says, I heard there's a retirement center in Chiang Mai. I have not heard that. Have you?
Yeah, I've heard, yes, but I mean, again, it varies. I mean, retirement center. I mean, a lot of people would be like, "What's your retirement center?" Pattaya. Okay, well. So yeah, I'm not disputing it, and I don't mean to, cause. But yeah, I have heard that. I've heard Chiang Mai more than anything else, actually, that there are facilities like that up there. All right, so you just got $50. Is that what I'm saying right now?
I just got $50, American Virginia. Thank you so much. Rogers just sent another 25 on PayPal.
Outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, it's like this is
coming in, baby.
This makes my life continue to improve.
And if you guys have been watching my channel, that money goes a long way for travel. I mean, I was staying at a bungalow right on the beach, $23 a night, man. Go. Yeah. Well, who Roger, right?
Roger.
There you go.
Right there.
Nice.
25 more.
Very
25
cool,
more from Roger.
Very
and
cool.
Eric, let me go back over to the channel real quick. Eric, thank you so much, man, for that big 50 right there. That'll come in AdSense. And Andy Edgar says, "Hi, I'm from Australia. I've never been to Thailand, but after watching your vlogs, I'm keen. Keep up the good work." Thank you, sir. Cool. We appreciate it very, very much, for sure. And Aztec says, "That is the biggest Cheap Charlie Chronicles donation I've ever seen." That's funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks to Cheap Charlie, man. You guys are making for a great live stream over here. It's
that's really cool. So what are you up to for the travel fund for that? Well, because so that long weekend, right? It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, right? It's going through. Because what I discovered is after that long weekend's over, everything drops in price. So I'm going to be vacationing, to answer this person's question on my channel, Dion. I'm vacationing September 9th through the 20th, and I'll be back down in Koh Phangan because it costs me what does it cost me? $7 round trip on the plane, and my hotel, because I stayed there before, so naturally they're giving me a good deal the second time. And they're incredibly lovely people. And when I was there, I was the only person there in the whole friggin' resort.
That's also in your pictures.
That'll be just like 600 baht, and that'd be nice. Now the bigger resort for sure. I mean, that'll get some trickle. People will, roll over into but I'm going down there on Wednesday, and the flights were just really, really cheap. But I wouldn't mind. I haven't been down to Pattaya in a long time, so I actually may cruise down there because I mean I like taking bus trips. I really want to get to Ayutthaya. I really want to take the train up there, like if nothing else, just for the day. So that might be a local trip. But my next trip, Dion, to answer your question, is down at Koh Phangan, September
9th. For me, when it's not going to be much longer, okay? But when, I mean, it is going to be longer, but it's going to be. I can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. Let me just type this to Eric real quick. It's Flying Brick. It's been playing. Jeremy saw it today and went over some instruction on it. Good for you, man. Good luck. I don't even know what that is. I know what an Avenger is, but not the TBM Behemoth. Behemoth meaning big, I'm sure. So I only have these 4 days, right? Oh, good news. I have housekeeping coming next Saturday. So next Saturday
Dude,
live stream will be coming a little bit short.
I
Yeah.
got to do that. How much? It's like 500 baht, 600 baht, something like that.
1,000 baht. They're
Okay.
sending in a
3 people.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're sending in a team that's gonna just like everything, and it's done within an hour. So I'm like,
yeah, I think I got to just
that,
bite the bullet and do the low. The facility here, they have a service, and it's 800 baht. And at first I thought, well, that's kind of expensive, but then of course I discontinued cleaning pretty much everything myself.
right.
And so now it's like, okay, that 800 baht is pretty. I'm not gonna bargain. It's like, fine, come in and do it. And so yeah, I got to do the same thing. I'm gonna write a note down before I forget to absolutely do that. But that's a good idea. That's not bad. The 1,000 baht. It's probably 3 people in an hour. That's amazing.
Yeah, in an hour, and the condition that this place is in,
dust bunnies everywhere.
Oh, it's honey. There's more than dust bunnies.
They're like full deer.
There's like full. I don't want to talk about it. It makes me nervous.
All right, fair enough. Dion says going to be down in Pattaya for part of the long weekend, but with staff team building trip. Gonna have to be well behaved. Well, that's fine. I mean, I won't speak for him, but it's not like I'm inappropriate now when I'm in Pattaya. I mean, Gracie's in the Philippines, but that doesn't mean I'm screwing around,
Right, yeah, definitely. I have no plans to be screwing around in Pattaya by any means. I think that me going there and kind of giving a little update, because you get a lot of updates from the people that live there that,
for sure.
that like go around the different places, and that nothing against them, nothing against that, but people on my channel, a lot of people came over because I was vlogging a lot from Pattaya. And so for me to do an update on what I see in
great idea.
Pattaya right now is going to be different from what the people that live there every day see. And sure. So it'll be a different perspective. And because it's a 4-day weekend and not like a 2-week holiday like we used to get, if that happens and I get to go to the islands, or if there's something going on around Pattaya, somewhere in Chonburi or something like that, then I may just stay in that area because I want to keep costs low. The reason is I think we're going to have 2 weeks off in November. I think. Nice. For school. And so to keep those costs, even with a good travel channel fund, I still want to keep those costs down if possible, because that 2-week trip in November, or that 2-week vacation in November, granted, I won't be going all night or the 14 days of the trip. Obviously, I'll probably be going to spend 5 nights somewhere or something like that. But I want to have enough money so that I can stay in a decent hotel and stay in a decent location wherever I go, whatever city I choose to go to. That might be a time when I make the journey to Koh Samet or somewhere down in that area that I've never been to before.
I want to go to Samet. I mean, it looks really nice. The only reason I didn't go there when I was down in Rayong is that the ferries weren't running yet. I was like, oh, okay, I can walk on the beach in Rayong and wave to the island, but I go over to the what is it?
I'm at Samui.
Yeah. Samui. Yeah, down there. Yeah. And Samui is super easy to get to. I mean, you can like jockey it. If you've got full 2 weeks off, you could leave on like a Tuesday or Wednesday and just fly right into Samui. Personally, I like doing the van because I really dig doing the boat. I like ferries. And oh my God, but you chew up like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Yeah, dude, if I'm on the water for 2 hours, my life is better,
Me too. I don't mind ferries at all. I don't get seasick or airsick.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
any of that stuff.
To Dion's comment about Thai Vietjet, I completely agree. He's mentioning that there's some flights for 200 baht each way down to Phuket. And then there's, there's a 500 baht in fees and taxes and that sort of thing. Absolutely. But I'll tell you right now, dude, I'm finding 99 baht. 99 baht fares down to Phuket. Yeah. And they also go down to, where else did I fly them to? I think it was Phuket. I think that's the only place that they're flying to right now. They normally go to some other destinations, but for the most part, they're just going crazy with Phuket. And I think if you're about 3 weeks out, you can get like 99 baht fares. And then they tack on, there's like a service fee of like 254 baht. And then there's like taxes of like 80 baht or something like that. But Thai Vietjet's really good because it does not, it's only like $3 or $4. It's so cheap to get the extra legroom and the 20 kilo check-in bag. If you have a ton of stuff, like Jeremy says, he has a whole lot of gear. Not that you check in electronics necessarily, but in any case, that's very inexpensive too. I mean, it's literally like half price for each of those things compared to AirAsia. And AirAsia, I mean, the extra legroom seat's like 550 baht. Sometimes it's like, oh my God, this is literally 200% more than what I'm paying for my seat, But
you're comfortable either way.
Now you take a taxi down to Pattaya, right?
Yeah, I take a taxi down to Pattaya. I do that for several reasons. One, the main reason is convenience. But let me explain.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not convenience in the typical form of convenience. It's practical convenience because for me, I live on the other side of Bangkok, like the getting ready to go toward Cha Am side, right? So I live on the western side of Bangkok.
By the main train station?
No, I live across the river, over by the river, right?
Got it.
So for me, it makes more sense to get a taxi than to get a taxi from here to either the southern, eastern, or northern bus station. And then pay the bus fare, and then pay. I know some people. You said you got off Baltimore, but another, motorbike taxi when I get there. That's 3 transitions. I've got to lug around all my crap and everything else. So I would rather pay the 1,600 or 1,700 baht, 1,500, whatever it is, to get me to where I'm going and to drop me off at the door.
Well, plus if you're only going for a day, I mean, you don't want to chew up a whole lot of time. I mean, when I go places, it's like, whatever. This doesn't matter. And I'm a big fan of the journey. That's why I take these 6 baht train rides that take 7 hours. Like, oh yeah, that was efficient, Mike. Really good job.
But you don't have to be efficient with your time. See, I don't have. Well, I won't speak for you. You don't have. I don't feel like you have to be as efficient with your time as I have to be with mine.
That is accurate.
Okay.
Yes.
With
my level of responsibility is only self-induced, really. But some of the guys. Oh, the other thing I completely forgot. Thank you to the guys on my channel or Jeremy's channel, regardless of where. But I'm assuming my channel, that subscribe to Bangkok Strange. I really appreciate that. I looked over there and a bunch of you were commenting, and we're already up. When we started with 0 subscribers on that YouTube channel, because the damn podcast has like 6,000 downloads normally. But anyway, so I wanted to thank the guys for that, because that was really cool. That's been a fun project, and that's taking up some attention units for sure. And then
even thought about it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And it's a different sort of model, really. I mean, it's more podcast than vlog. But anyway, I forgot to thank the guys for that. So that was kind of a bummer.
I'm going over to subscribe to it right now. If it's on,
just type in Bangkok podcast in YouTube. We haven't gotten to the branding thing. When you get your branded account, that allows you to basically be youtube.com/DoMoreLife. Right. So like I have youtube.com/live my ass off. And so it's infinitely easier.
Yeah, I wondered how you got that. So we're gonna have to do the
part of the
right now. Mine is like youtube.com/C/Jeremy Clodfelter.
Yeah, at the end of the day, obviously it's your business, but it's a personal account and can't anyway. And now, okay, we're not going to get into deep technical, guys, but the reason that we're talking about that is because many of you have commented, and I completely agree. Believe me, from a technology standpoint, it pisses me off that this isn't just next finish. But what we want to do is we want to have the ability to have both of our channels chat on the screen, and that we can monitor both of them at the exact same time. So it's not just my channel where we instantiate this from and then push it to Jeremy, but it's effectively both channels fully simulcast and all of the chat on here. So so with that said, actually, are you caught? Because I'm almost caught up on thank you, Dion. I appreciate it. I'm almost caught up, or I am caught up now on comments. How about you? You probably got a lot more.
I've got, let's see, we got Aztec says, don't miss at Gordon's Alive. Oh, Gordon's Alive says, if you're traveling with the Thai, they get 60% off hotels right now with the voucher. So
yeah, do you guys know of that website? Program? Do you guys know of that website? You know of that program? It's called We Travel Together. And it is a requirement that you are a Thai citizen. But it's wetraveltogether.co.th. And that's the English. The Thais will basically write it obviously in Thai characters and that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, We Travel Together. It's a dynamite program, and it's even like, for example, I brought up Agoda the other day, and like the banner, that comes up on Agoda, they're like, hey, don't forget, if you're a Thai citizen and you're staying here, you get massive discounts. You do, and in fact, you get up to $3,000 off per night. Wow. Now, sorry. 3,000 baht. 3,000 baht.
Yeah, right.
But don't forget, to get 3,000 baht off, you got to spend 8,000 on the silly room. So, I'm staying at these places, and the Thais are like, oh my God, we could get that so much cheaper. I'm like, false.
Carl Salesman already has it figured out.
Yeah. I was like, trust me. But the good news though is that certainly if you've missed out on the Air Asia Unlimited Pass, I've only met a couple other people that have that. And then a new one's going to come up, but you also get really good discounts on travel. In other words, like physical, like taking the plane and that sort of thing. Keep in mind if you make now. So dude, Aztec just double clicked on some K-Shola to DoMoreLife. You celebrate that. I'm going to get some more coffee.
Yes, there he is. $3. Aztec, you are the man. Thank you, dude. I also got a PayPal coming in too. Aztec, thank you, brother. I really, 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 really appreciate that. And then I'm not going to show the name of this person because I know who they are on YouTube, but we will look here and see. Wait, can you see that in the, anyway, $25 PayPal. Thank you so very much. We are almost at $100 for today, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Today we have 25, 25, 25. So 75 in PayPals, and we're looking for 100. So we need 25 more in PayPals, and then we got all that in Super Chat as well. I mean, this is a great day for DoMoreLife, man. Great day for DoMoreLife. And as soon as Mike gets back, I'm going to flip over to Eric's comment and let him help me answer that, because that would be good. Thank you so much, Aztec. Roger says they said they would let charter flights into Phuket in October. Any ideas on how you get on a charter flight? Oh, that's a good question. Again, I think Mike would probably know more about that than me. So as soon as he gets back, we will talk about that. There's a who to what? He says, as far as independent living facility, not interested. It's Thailand. Assisted living / live-in caregiver is the crucial niche. Plenty of room for profit. May we all never reach beyond that point. My man, good comment, man. Dion the Nomad says, what do you guys mostly discuss here? Thailand, our lives, and traveling. Our experiences. That's what we usually travel to. And yes, I subscribe to the Bangkok Strange. Has nothing to do with me. I'm completely out of the Bangkok Strange thing. So that doesn't have anything to do with me. Oh yeah, with the super chat, I'm over 100 stuck for sure. We're trying to do in we're just trying to hit that 25 to get the 100 in PayPal, because the PayPal comes in. I won't see the super chat till next month. But it's so, you guys have been so wonderful this weekend. If we don't get $25 more in PayPal, I'm so good. You guys have been just awesome, and then more awesome. And I cannot wait. To use my new camera to record some video for you guys when I have these little short holidays coming up and all that stuff. And I will continue to tell you, if you guys enjoy this content, hit that thumbs up button, because I do believe it helps the algorithm, and I greatly appreciate it. And so would Mike with getting the thumbs up button hit. But yeah, if we don't get the other $25 stuck yet, it's no problem. I mean, it's no problem. We've had a tremendous day, a tremendous weekend, really, and I'm just super grateful for you guys and the things that you've done. Mike, I want to. Eric has a comment over here, and he says I should have done. Well, first he said he stopped cleaning when he was 53. Now he's 57. So
stop cleaning.
He says, I should have done what you guys are doing a long time ago. It sounds like living there is so much more enjoyable, despite some advice someone gave me once that you have to make it work wherever you go. Well, I mean, you do have to make it work wherever you go. It's a lot easier to make it work here. So, yeah, man, do your thing. Do your thing. That's what I say.
So what was the comment? You said that there was a comment that you wanted us to touch on, I think. I kind of heard from across the room from the kitchen.
That was it. Eric's comment.
Oh, okay. Right on. Did you see the one about how you get a charter flight? Someone asked about how to get a charter flight.
Oh, yeah, that one, charter flight. That's the one I was going to defer to you. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like, how do you make $1 million? Start with $2 million.
Yeah, he said they said they would let charter flights into Phuket in October. Any ideas on how you get a charter flight?
Yeah, there's a bunch of services, right? I'm trying to remember the one that is part of Berkshire Hathaway. It's like Jet Set. I can't remember the name. Anyway, NetJet. Yeah. And I've been part of that for a while. Sorry. I've been on it. Like, in other words, on a plane. I don't have the membership. I don't have. Yeah, it was a friend. But here's the funny thing is that I would so much prefer to be in like business class or first class on a 777, because there's not a whole lot of room in private jets, and as a guy with long legs, sometimes they have the seats facing each other. Now, again,
it depends on what kind of private jet you're flying on. If you're flying, if you're flying on a Citation 10, then you're going to have a little bit of room, but not that much. If you're flying on the new G700 or the old G650ER, you're going to have some leg room on that one. And if you fly the Bombardier makes a business jet that's basically, I can't remember the name of it. Right? The Lineage 1000, I think is the name of it. Bombardier makes, and it's a commercial airplane, but it only seats 12. It's got a couch in it, and it's got big leg chairs, shower in the back, big master bedroom, all that stuff. So if you're flying on that private jet, you're not struggling for leg room. So yeah,
I remember the one I was on. I don't remember what this, because I'm not. I mean, obviously you love airplanes. You're really into it. Like some guys are into trains, and some guys are into beaches.
And the NetJet program, you correct me if I'm wrong here, Mike, but the NetJet program basically gives you several options. Like one is you can be like a card carrying member. Like within 24 hours, they will come pick you up and take you wherever you need to go, and it costs a certain. You pay a certain amount, and then once that amount's gone, you have to re-up on the card or not. Then you have fractional ownership in the company, so you can own a quarter. Once you get fractional ownerships, they'll come get you in 12 hours from wherever you need to go instead of 24, and you don't have to wait on a plane. They guarantee it, even at a quarter fraction. Also, if you own the actual airplane itself 100%, or if you split it with somebody and you're owning it half, they service all their jets. They give all their pilots training, and they all fly. The whatever pilot is flying that jet only flies that jet. He doesn't, so you don't have to worry about it. You're there. And fun fact on NetJets, if you have your own airplane, you can keep it at the NetJet facility, which I think is it Ohio or somewhere out there? I can't remember.
One? I thought they had multiple places.
That they do have multiple. I'm from the East Coast, so I look at the what would be the multiple, what would be the place there. But if you own your own plane, and they will service it, keep it, and provide you with pilots for it. So you don't have to worry about that either. And they keep all your records up to date, so you don't have to worry about FAA stuff and any kind of thing like that. Also, even if you become a fractional member, if you want to do a fractional cost of an airplane, you get your own team. So in other words, when you call in, they're going to say, hey, Mr. whatever your name is, or Miss whatever your name is, and they're going to do that. They will set the plane up. If you want chocolate candies on the thing or whatever, they will arrive with chocolate candies. So
give him your rider.
Fun facts about NetJets. Hey, a young man can dream, right?
Well, and it's funny. I would have this discussion with some of my buddies that had one, and at the end of the day, for them, arguably it was expensive, but it was pretty easy to justify. I mean, it was always for well, there's one lady that I knew, and her and her husband's, they had theirs just simply because they were pretty wealthy and they like to travel a lot. But
right. Aztec says I can afford a Cessna. Will that make it from Australia to Pattaya? Not unless you can find a way. Not unless you can find a way to refuel it in the air.
Up through Alaska, over to the peninsula. Yeah. Cessna. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Cessna 24334 were the tail numbers. And that was fun. It was amazing to me how, like, all of a sudden you're cruising along and the plane just lifts. Like, I mean, there's basically, there's a speed to the wing, right? In other words, it's like 104, nothing, 105, nothing, 106, boom, you are up in the air. So, I mean, thank you, Bernoulli. I mean, for fluid dynamics, because it's just an amazing, it's an amazing thing that it's just amazing it works, especially when I see like a giant plane.
Listen to a non-engineer explain what he's talking about. Okay, you're gonna love it because he's fluid dynamic physicist and all this stuff. I have no knowledge in all of it. Okay, so an airplane wing kind of looks it's tilted a little bit because of the angle of attack. But on the top of the wing, you'll notice the top of the wing is curved a little bit, and then the bottom is flat, right? Even though it's angled a little bit. The reason for that is that airspeed under the wing is faster than the airspeed over the top of the wing, and there's more air under the wing. So you get a higher air pressure under the wing, which then causes lift because the top of the wing weighs less than the bottom of the wing, so it lifts up, kind of like a hot air balloon, so to speak, magically.
Sort of.
Yeah. Now you can give the real breakdown.
Well, I mean, again, you're accurate in the sense that the lift is caused by the air pressure, right? But at the end of the day, it's just amazing it works, really, and And I was really fascinated by the fact that, and then flaps, right? I mean, you put your flaps down, you increase the surface area of that thing so much. And then like you need 70% of the speed to be able to maintain that altitude. It is so friggin' rad. So, I mean, anyway,
I remember coming in. Yeah. One more plane story real quick. Yeah. My friend Lauren, who is now a commercial aviator, she's first officer. And this was when I was back in America, when she was in flight school. She and I became very good friends. And I would fly along with her. She was logging hours. And I remember we came in, we turned base, and then we turned final. When we turned final, she extended the flaps on, we were flying a Cessna 172. Yeah. And she extended the flaps all the way. And it was like the plane just hit the brakes. It's like somebody just hit the brakes in the airplane that slowed down so much.
Right.
And she's a landing perfectionist, so it went very well after that. Okay, sorry about the planes, guys. I'm sorry. They get me excited.
Skill you want to have. Being a takeoff expert is not really important. It's the plane pretty much flies itself. Once again, that's what's up there. Here's something I didn't know, because I was talking to the guy that owned the resort I was renting in Koh Phangan the first night, called Dreamville. He was a commercial airline pilot. I didn't realize that the autopilot actually took care of the taxiing as well. Did you know that? You may have known that.
Which plane was it?
Which plane was it?
Yeah, is that what you said? You don't know?
No. I said that the autopilot takes care of the taxiing as well. I didn't realize that.
Autopilot?
No. Well, no. This was a commercial aircraft. It was like 737, 727, 747.
Oh, okay. They may do some taxiing, because in general aviation, all the taxi is handled by the little wheel on the.
But I was amazed. He's like, "Oh yeah, we'd come in, and then all of a sudden, the autopilot would take us to the right." And I'm like, "What?" Because he was describing to me. They always have stories of like what are difficult airports,
And as long as you have a radio, in terms of landing, as long as you have a localizer and a glide slope. The glide slope's obviously, that the slope that you come in on, and localizer keeps you on the center line of the runway. You can land, and then I'm sure if ground has a frequency that will tell your airplane to, come to me. In other words, then
Well, I think it's programmed in. I mean, obviously there's GPS involved, right? But I think that at least what I've experienced is that, I mean, again, the airplane flies itself, right? I mean, once it gets up, it's like you're good, And
thanks, Eric.
I was amazed. I mean, planes are just, anyway, they're phenomenal. Have you done your private pilot?
Can't do it, man. They won't let me. They won't let me get it with hypertension.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot. Yeah, this guy was bummed because he had to leave. He was 65.
Heartbreaking. I was
sure.
Yeah. I was heartbroken, man. I was like, can I not get some kind of waiver that says, if I fly, it's just me in the airplane, because essentially what I would do then is just go rent an airplane, and like a Cessna 172 or something, or something like that, and just fly around, in the definitely stay out of Class B airspace, but stay in the airspace that I needed to stay in for whatever the general aviation rules are. I never got to know them fully because the airspace looks like an upside down wedding cake, and I never got to understand 100% where you can and can't fly within that, zone. I would rent a plane. Like if I was in North Carolina, I would go to the Concord Airport and rent a plane, a 172 or something, and fly it to Asheville for the weekend, and Asheville up in the mountains, land in Asheville, go get a log cabin somewhere in the woods and just chill out, and shoot some video and that kind of thing.
When I was going for my private pilot, I learned a couple of cute little phrases, but one of them is scenarios that you just described where pilots they would call it the $100 hamburger. And of course, it's infinitely more than that. But you just fly somewhere and, of course, have, a hamburger that costs $1. But, of course, because of the flight and everything, it's a $100 hamburger. So that was kind of fun, though. I remember doing it. But believe it or not, I was doing it. And then, sadly, 9/11 happened. Like, literally, I was, and the similar to what's happening now, right? A disaster occurs and certain verticals just get completely, crater, right? And then so right now, for example, that's the hospitality industry. Back then, general aviation took a huge hit because all the planes were grounded. And it's not like they were like, oh, yeah, let's put them up now. We trust them.
Yeah. And did you get your private pilot's license?
No. And interestingly enough, the place where I went was San Diego Flight Training International, which any of you guys know, that is where one of the pilots that flew one of the planes into the Twin Towers. That's where he took his instruction. And what was funny is they cited the fact that, the guy always just wanted to talk about, straight level flight, like that was weird. Like he didn't want, the only reason he wanted to learn that is so he could fly these jets into the Twin Towers. And it's like, well, yes, I mean, it was horrible that you did it. I'm not making light of that. But the fact is, as a pilot, straight and level flight, you do that all day long. You got to be able to do that first and prove it to your instructor before you solo. So straight level flight is just something that you do anyway. It's not like if you say the word straight and level flight, they're like, oh, terrorist. No. That's part of it. No. But I loved it, man. I loved it. It was a great.
They told me to put my hand up between my hand should be, if I'm wanting to fly straight and level, my hand should be the bottom with the horizon and the top should meet the sky or whatever. And that'll keep you in straight and level flight. And Eric makes a very good point about commercial pilots. They only actually fly the plane for about 8 minutes. And
usually it's landing.
Right. Yeah. We're going to have to get off the airplane topic. Unfortunately, it's my favorite topic in the world, but we're going to have to because this is the Bangkok boys.
We're the Bangkok boys. That's all right. The only way to get to Bangkok is with a plane. So
there you go. Good as hell.
Dion makes an interesting point. He talks about, again, this is just one of many, but I do thank you, and I did write it down, Dion. The Yang San Hotel in Phuket, 5-star over in Laguna. And I will check that out. But it was an interesting comment that you made, which is like, it's not great for single travel, but great if you have kids. I don't know, $1,500 a night's not bad for a 2-bedroom, villa. But again, I don't necessarily need 2 bedrooms, but and then thank you again, Todd, for posting with one of those URLs. If you guys are watching on my side, just go to the channel. There's an article in the Tiger, another paper that I seem to have, or blog really, that I have a lot of respect for. Those guys seem to give good data, and our buddy Ben always seems to quote them too.
Yep.
So and then there's some info that he's put in there, which is good. After another week and another test, they'll be allowed to travel anywhere in Thailand. Yeah, that was where. So yeah, I mean, it was 7 days after the 14, basically. You get tested, and then you can travel anywhere there. And believe me, it was something that I considered. Okay, well then that'll get Gracie over here for me, right? But
right.
She also has appointments in November, so she has to get back to the Philippines, and the Philippines are competent, so getting back in there is not going to be a real joy either. So.
I'm sure you going over there to pick her up is not going to be the best experience you've ever had. I mean, picking her up will be a great experience, but like the whole process of getting in the country and that kind of thing, I'm sure that'll be a difficult process.
Even before COVID, like the way I describe the Philippines is absolutely everything takes at least 2 times, if not 3 times longer than it should. I'm talking about
100%.
Waiting in line to go to an ATM, waiting in line for Mang Inasal, getting into the airport, getting through the airport, waiting in line, the inefficiency with which they like board your aircraft. I mean, everything they do is just ridiculous. And then government agencies. I mean, it's just sad. There's like massive overpopulation.
Yes, and it's true too. What he's saying is absolutely true. I've been there.
Todd says it takes 2 weeks to get approved. That's interesting. Good to know, man.
2 weeks to get approved for
I'm assuming for the the ability to come into the country, right? In other words, you got to go through the usually your local embassy, right? To get the certification of entry.
He's talking about coming in Thailand, right?
Yeah.
Aztec makes a good point there. So once approved, how do you find a flight?
2 to 3 days, process of payment, a couple days. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, Todd. Are you talking about your elite visa, or are you talking about the charter flight and the hotels? Got it. Okay, got it. Yeah, okay. Got it. Appreciate it. Dude, how's work going? Because before you talked about it was like a little bit stressful, but I mean you're kind of in the swing now, right? I don't want to bum you out. We can talk about playing.
No. Work is extremely stressful. I know. People say, "Dude, you're teaching English in Thailand." First of all, if you've never taught English in Thailand and don't understand the principles behind the principles of the schools, and or if you work for a private school, and it's more of a business than a school, you're really under a lot of pressure, which is
really okay.
Kind of what I currently work in, the environment I work in. And it is, I'm looking forward to getting my tea, Mike.
I get it. Yeah. Real relaxing. Right. Yeah.
It's
that's a good answer.
I can't really say much more than that, but I can tell you that if Thailand continues to open the borders and they let the right class of people back in, my life will change dramatically over that from that day forward. It'll change dramatically, and so will this channel. And not the channel won't change. The amount of content that I'm able to bring, and the level of content, and I mean the quality will change a ton, because I've got this brand new camera with all these super features on it, right? And I can't really use it. Because I have to be able to travel,
Yeah. You don't want to do some awesome time lapse of your couch, right? It's just like,
exactly. They may, and we may not get the 2 weeks in November. We may have to work straight through, because being a private school, you don't necessarily fall under the government's policies.
Okay. What is November? It's obviously not Thanksgiving, right? I mean, what is 2 weeks in November? Some random thing, or is it like padded with a couple of Thai holidays?
That would be that would be the end of this semester.
I see. Okay.
This full semester of school. Yeah, that would be the end of it. So usually you get time off during that, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit concerned about that. But what I do know is, as soon as the borders open back up, I'll be a happy person. I know that. That's for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get it. I just, I'm grateful. I'm overpaid. The universe has overpaid me. Hey, good to see you, Dave. Thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate it. And, it's funny. Dion mentions the fact, it's funny, but it's just academically interesting, certainly. In my new job, we have 20 new staff in quarantine until the end of August, which is, I guess that'll be like 2 weeks, right? Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Should be 8 days. 8 days.
8 more days, yeah. Todd says, after the approval of the certificate of entry and they give you flights going in, the repatriate flights, then you send it into Elite and they finalize your ASQ. So that's pretty cool. Well, shoot, Todd, it sounds to me like the good news for you then is that you're not going to have to use your backup of Cambodia. It sounds like you are absolutely going to be over here. But one more comment that he makes, which is this one right here, which is absolutely, that's an important safety tip, is that they're only doing 200 people a day.
Right.
It said only 200 every 200 days. What? Meaning one person per day? No.
Yeah. I think that's a lot.
I hope that's wrong, buddy.
Yeah, I'm reading the comments on your show too.
Too many jumping on that because of the 14-day. Not too many jumping on it because of the 14-day quarantine, which totally, totally makes sense. How pricey is that going to be? Go ahead.
Does Todd have a Cambodian passport, or does he just have
Cambodian visa?
He has the Cambodian visa already as a backup. Okay, I got you.
He's also got an elite visa. They're just getting everything set up for him.
Yeah. I get that. I just didn't know about the Cambodia situation, because I know one time he had talked about flying into Cambodia and then coming into Thailand, but that's not going to be possible until Thailand opens the border. Yeah. So that's essentially what
walk across the border. No big whoop.
Just walk across. There's no penalty for it.
Crazy. I mean, it's just amazing how much easier stuff used to be.
So much trouble. Oh man.
Yeah.
So don't. I was kidding when I said don't do no penalty for it. There's extreme penalty for it.
You get some nice shiny Thai bracelets, buddy. You don't want to start doing that sort of nonsense.
There he goes. He says 200 every 15 days.
Okay, that makes sense. Wow, but but they don't have a repatriation flight kind of thing that they're doing every single day, right? I mean, there's like from Singapore, to be fair, this more recent announcement from the Singapore embassy, Thai embassy, the Thai embassy in Singapore. From there, they're basically doing 2 flights, and you have like 3 or 4 days, I think, to apply for it. Like I think now, what's today? Today, 22nd. Yeah, so I think actually it was like yesterday through the 25th or something. You can apply for this, and then the next flight is on September 9th or whatever. Actually, I mean, relative to what you and I, one of the places that we get our data. Benjamin Hart from Integrity Legal, his video that dropped this morning actually kind of details the dates that I'm talking about. So don't take my word for it. Go to Integrity Legal and see this.
That's what I always say. Use my video, use my information as a guide, because I'm not a lawyer. I'm not certified, and I'm certainly not employed by Thai immigration. I'm not an immigration official. I'm not an immigration scholar. I'm not any of those things.
Yeah, but dude, if I want some bitch and tea, you're my guy.
That's it. If you want some awesome tea, I'm gonna wait till it gets here and really try out all 3. I already know how the one works, so that's the first glass I'm gonna have.
Did you share how much it cost? Was it expensive? Or was it like 1,000 baht or something for tea?
No, I bought the whole. I told you earlier, but I know it's okay. You're 52. I understand.
I didn't write it down. Dude. The brain cells don't grow back. You know that.
Yeah. Yes, you have a very, very good point there.
Unfortunately.
But the Gabaron tea was the most expensive thing. I got like a pack that should last me probably about 6 months. And it was like 850 baht, I think. And then everything else was like 120, 150 baht. I got the lemongrass and green tea with low caffeine. That'll be super healthy. And the peppermint tea I got from my digestive system. That was another 150 baht. And then I bought a stainless steel filter that you put the bag into or whatever, and then pour it. And I also bought a real nice Japanese made mug. I almost bought the clay, the ones that they make from clay, but I was like, this is gonna be, it was a couple $100 baht more, and I was like, I don't want to spend that much money.
You gotta fire up your own kiln? Like, what do you mean they're giving you the clay? You gotta put it in a kiln fire?
No. It's already made. It's made from clay. But I got a Japanese teacup, but it's a bigger one to put the tea in. And I was able to do this all because if you're this is some good information for people that are non-visa holders. If your company provides reimbursement for your visa and your work permit, that's a total of 5,000 baht. Okay, so because it's 1,900 for the visa, 3,100 for the work permit.
Yeah, I got it.
So most teaching jobs will provide that for you. I say most, and mine did, and it just took them until now to get that reimbursement back. So I got that reimbursement this month, and I was able to. That's the only reason I've been able to do a few things this month, and it is what it is. What's up, Joseph? Good to see you, bud.
There we go. How many shakas we got going on right now? 12 million. That's a minimum.
I don't know what that is yet.
Dude, come on. Seriously, you don't?
Okay. No, I really don't,
man. Filipino metric, because as you know, every Filipina has at least 4,000 friends on Facebook. So the numbers extrapolate into the millions. So when you have like one person watching, that basically means you have 1 million Filipinos watching. So therefore, if you have 12 thumbs up, that means you get 12 million.
Oh,
right? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I got it.
The Filipino metric, baby.
Filipino metric. Now I understand. I got some comments over here, man. Let's see. Aztec's talking about losing 10 kilograms to even do my gyro training. It's turning out to require effort.
10 kilos is a lot, dude. 22 pounds.
Todd said, yeah, it is. Todd says, JC, I have until October the 15th to get into Thailand through the elite. If I don't get in by then I will do Cambodia to give myself the time I have to do the 14 days queue and 2 weeks to get the visa extended. Very smart. He says the visa expires November 15th. Good for you.
The Cambodian visa expired? Oh, you didn't get a 1 year? Okay, fair enough. No, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot it's Cambodia. You don't get the one. Yeah. I knew that.
Andy says, DoMoreLife with tea. Sell some t-shirts. I might. I have a Teespring store that has some DoMoreLife merchandise in it, and I do have coffee mugs. I suppose you could turn them into hot tea mugs. And Stuck in Florida is keeping people in check. It says, Jack Mack, we don't use that term on this channel, so whatever he said, just rewrite it, Jack. I have no idea what you said, but my moderators are going to get you. That's just the way they do things. And everybody go to both channels, hit the thumbs up button, because we want people to see all of this wonderful information we're passing along and the incredible entertainment value that we're giving.
It's epic content. Are you kidding me? I mean, for the God's sake, we got 12 million shakas, brah. I mean, that's just like totally rad. Hey, well, to your point, Todd, I forget stuff all the time too, and I'm older, so.
Yeah, Todd says, JC was forgetful. I explained it to him last week. You did, you're right. And as Mike explained it, it came back to me all at once.
But don't forget, as a good host, he's just basically explaining it for all of the listeners. Even though he knows. He's just making sure everyone else knows.
Of course, and that's perfect. Looks like he got his 3 months and can extend to 1 year for.
I remember that.
Cambodia. Well, that makes
Cambodia is exciting. I mean, I've got a lot of friends. The majority of my business friends over here are very interested in Cambodia, setting up offices in Phnom Penh. And
I think Cambodia is going to come online. I think Cambodia is going to come online in Southeast Asia if the right people set up shop.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's really cheap, right? So, I mean, any big company is like, yeah, okay, we'll put a factory over there if we can get the right workers and that sort of thing. Doing business over there is ridiculously easy. They have, again, it's one of these leapfrog deals, right? They never had like sort of a whole bunch of old paperwork related stuff. Of course they did, but it's not as bureaucratically ridiculous as the Philippines. And so what they did is they threw not everything. They threw the majority of things online. You can get a brand new business with like a bank account, 8 days, all online. Friggin' amazing. I mean, it is really impressive what they've done over there. And I mean, e-visa, right? Obviously from your phone. Again, this is the old you can't just like give them $3,000 and show up. Hey, let me quarantine.
Right.
So there's imperfection, but I mean, and again, don't forget, I mean, you can form an LLC in the United States for $99.
Yeah.
I've done that. I mean, LegalZoom is not, but my point is that considering it's Cambodia, I'm very impressed with them. I think that they're doing great. This is going to be the best place in the entire world. Over the next 10 years, Southeast Asia is just it's the place.
It's rocking, which is one reason why I want to get to South America now, and Central America to do some exploring, because I have a feeling I'm going to be calling somewhere in Southeast Asia home for when I finally settle down. I highly doubt, unless things change dramatically in America, I highly doubt that I'm gonna die in America. I will probably live out my life in a foreign country somewhere.
So here's an interesting question. So for you, what does settle down mean?
Settle down means like when I'm like, because my life expectancy is only 65, right? So when I'm based on my the heart, yeah. Right. So like
based on that, you do a whole lot more natural medicine, they'll probably extend it another 20 years.
Exactly. If I do a whole lot of natural medicine and really take good care of myself, like I got to stop drinking all the sugar and all this. I got to take some personal accountability here, but
it takes a big toll on the heart. Yes.
Yeah, it does. And so let's say I live to 70. Okay, so I'm 30. I'll be 40 in November. So let's just say I'm 40, and that's 30 years. So for me, settling down would be like around 60. Hopefully, having a wife, some type of family, whether that includes kids from her previous marriage or maybe an accidental oopsie from me.
There you go.
Yeah. But when I say settle down, I mean build that last home or buy that last condo, or where I'm going to stay. Where I will go to the place where I am treated best, that has the best faculties for me at that age and time. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Yeah. Cause because people, I mean, there's the label of retired, right? People have been like, okay, Mike, so are you retired over there? I'm like, well, I mean, I don't just sit here and stare at my foot all day. And, I don't I'm busy. I got more companies that I'm running now that I'm retired than I did before when I actually worked for one. I keep busy. So I think that the reason I asked you that is because I think that, for guys like you and me, certainly, 40s, 50s, that sort of thing, I think the definitions of those things like settle down or retire, that sort of thing, change significantly. And I also think that they change even more moving over here to Southeast Asia.
That's what I was going to say. Retirement in like the West, and when you talk retirement in Southeast Asia, you're not talking about two different things, but it's like talking about, let's use catfish, for example. It's like talking about
the man from North Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah. Says the redneck from North Carolina.
Let's talk about catfish. My bass boat. I got my bass boat.
It's like
not how you sound at all.
It's like catching a mud cat or catching a blue cat.
Right.
So
sure. Mud, blue.
You're talking about the same category of thing, retirement, but the the context of it is different. Is what I'm
okay. So kind of like how we have like you have 104 million shakas. It's like you're like, well, how many catfish would that be? I mean, and would that be blue, or is that what you guys measure? You guys measure it in gun racks, the back and forth.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes.
I'm going.
Put them in the back of the truck. Let them go.
Right now. Joseph asked, "What do you think of the bot?" And I'll tell you right now, I'm pretty stoked that it's 31.5.
Is it really 31.5?
Sure. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see right here. So 1,000 US dollars, 31.535 thousand baht.
Wow. I may have to move some money, man.
Philippine pesos only 48. So yeah. It's down a little bit. But,
how the hell does that happen?
Well, I mean, you got to remember, like, the economy's starting to do better in the US, right? I mean, and in comparison to Thailand, the other thing too is that Thailand, I think it was 60 billion. I think they took out a $60 billion loan, 60 billion US dollars. So basically 1.2 trillion baht, to be able to like sort of support the country and that sort of thing as they're going.
They did. I read that. Stuck just to yeah. I'm gonna. Will you remove that comment where you're asking what his question was, because we don't even want that on the comment there. And thank you for removing that. Appreciate it very, very much.
Okay, cool.
Eric says, Jeremy, Catfish. That's your new nickname.
Jeremy, yeah, absolutely.
If you're hungry enough, the mud cat is completely edible. That's true, Stuck. See, Stuck knows what I'm talking about.
If you're hungry enough, garbage is useful. Well, Dion asks, how long have you guys been outside the U.S.? He moved to Asia in 96, Korea for 10 years, Singapore for 9, and then back to Canada for 2 years. Hated the rat race and moved to Thailand. I get it, dude. Whereabouts in Canada? I'm from Canada. So I've been outside of the U.S. permanently since November 21st of last year. Prior to that, I'd been coming basically back and forth to Southeast Asia at a minimum of 2 times a year, at a maximum of 6 times in 1 year. So that's my history. How about you, Jeremy?
I have been coming. I left 4 days after I graduated college, July 2017. And I've been gone and haven't been back. Yeah. So
nice.
3 years and some change. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty fun.
I spent 9 months of that in the Philippines, and then 2 in I came here in April of 2018. So I'm pushing 2.5 years. Yeah.
2.5 years. Yeah. That's awesome, dude. That's pretty cool.
I love it, man. This is my place.
Joseph says something, and I want to address this actually, because I'm honored by that, because whenever you guys say, "Oh my God, you should do something that Jeremy's doing," I'm like, "Holy crap! Thank you very much. I really appreciate that." No, seriously, because
that's awesome, man. I thank you. Thank you guys.
Yeah, so it's neat. I like stuff like that. Get JoJo on your show. And here's the reason why I agree that it would probably be a good idea, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. And I started this with an appointment yesterday, which is one of the reasons why I couldn't watch the entire live stream of Jeremy at the time, is I'm starting to meet with, this is a long story, but because of the relationships I've had in the past, a couple software companies that I'm a part of, a couple people that I'm part of a beta testing group of some software online and YouTube creators and stuff. As you might guess, there's discussion of ladyboys, okay, in Thailand. And a lot of times I think they get pinholed into like the girls that work on Soy 6 and, okay. But I mean, yes, there's some that work at Starbucks and some that work in 7-Elevens. But then there's ones that are like this one woman, the ladyboy that I talked to yesterday, very entrepreneurial, right? One of these stories where it's like, didn't graduate high school, but like is a massive go-getter. Came to Bangkok out of basically Buriram or Isan kind of thing. Actually, that's not right. But anyway, from up there in the farm, her parents' farm. Came to Bangkok with 10,000 baht in her pocket and basically blew through that like really fast. and then had to, struggle and do and all that sort of thing. And she set up like these businesses and everything. And of course, as you might guess, one of them was tourism related. That cratered. But then she's like, figuring out things to do. Incredibly conscientious. And I'll give you a great example of what this was. We were supposed to meet at 10 a.m. over at True Coffee right here at True Digital Park. So I leave my place at like 9:30. I start walking over there. It takes me 10 minutes to walk over there. I'm chilling out. I don't care. I get there early, whatever. This has not happened to me with a lot of Thai people, men or women, that are meeting me at a specified amount of time. Sends me a message 15 minutes early, already letting me know there's a possibility that she'll be late. And I'm like, and my first thought is, well, of course you're going to be late. You're Thai. I mean, I get it.
Right.
Yeah. 10 o'clock is not, I'm not meeting with Germans. It's like, okay, we're going to be there at 9:59. If we're there at 9:58, that's fine. But if we're there at 9:59 and 30 seconds, then we're late. We can't make our 10, they are on time.
Right.
And for the most part in the United States, when you have a 10 o'clock meeting, it's kind of assumed that you're going to be there before 10 o'clock. Or certainly if you're late, it's weird. But if you don't communicate, it's also occasionally, at least I interpret it sometimes, as being rude. So I really made a point. I said, you must have been doing business with people that in sort of Western. And she said, oh, yeah. She said, you really learn in Thai when you start doing business with Western people. They don't like it when you're late. And I said, yeah. But communicating, like you can if you over communicate and you tell me days ahead, if you tell me you're going to be late, then you're not late. Okay. Because again, personal accountability. Anyway, so why did I bring all that up? Okay, because in talking with her, I realized that, yes, there are many questions that guys have. Like, oh, my God, like, when did you start, hormone implants? Why did you do this? Did you do it because you just wanted to work in a bar and bring money back to your poor family? But there's so many other stories about that over here. And at least my experience with transgenders, but, specifically ladyboys, meaning that they're not, necessarily women being men, but it's pretty much guys being women. And the transition that they go through is very interesting to me. And I also think that it's very interesting to other guys. And so she was one of probably 5 that I'm going to meet with. I don't know if I'm going to go through the whole process of putting together a documentary, but I got to tell you, I have not found one decent documentary on friggin' YouTube. Yeah, exactly, buddy. And it's just like,
I'm 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
I'm your camera guy. You can do all the sound and everything.
And that's the thing. I was sitting here thinking, because I obviously was having this interview with her during your live stream. So you're in my mind, and I'm thinking, dude, I wonder, like, I'm so glad you said that, because I'm like, I don't know if I ask him, he's going to be like, oh, Mike, what do you want? My big 60,000 baht camera? No way, sports shoot. And he offers, right? We got it on camera that you offered.
Well, I've still got my little I've got my Canon camera too. I've still got the other Olympus cameras that works every once in a while. So, like, occasionally we could shoot like a straight up documentary style cinematic. I think it would be too, because really, the transgender population over here, I've met some of them, and you wouldn't know unless they told you, right?
Yeah, and, right. They've had apple surgery, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, everything. And Joseph says you should both support her YouTube channel. She has a good personality. I don't know who he's talking about.
JoJo? JoJo has a YouTube channel? I didn't know that.
No. He says you should both support her YouTube channel. She has a good personality. JoJo doesn't have a YouTube personality.
Does not have a YouTube personality.
YouTube channel, yeah.
Anyway,
sure he'll
clarify.
Yeah. I'll have her back on at some point. But what I was going to say is the process that they go through and the things that they do to get that way, or to get to whatever they want their lifestyle to be like, is an interesting process. It really is. And I would be like, just that would be great to do a project like that.
The other thing too is that one of the things I think you like doing this too is that I like to learn things over here, at least certainly to the best of my ability, maybe overlearn them, but get enough data. Because what really bugs me, and it's not necessarily their fault, but let's just say for the sake of argument, like my friends, your circle back in the US, they will make statements, not necessarily to be liars or anything, but that are totally inaccurate.
Right.
And based on what they've read or whatever, like I'm coming to Thailand for the first time. And this one guy says
it's based on ignorance. That's all.
It is. Yeah. They're not stupid. It's just that they have the wrong data.
Right.
And potentially what they want to do is, profess this wrong data in the hopes that basically you will think they're smarter than they are. So that's a little bit of a self-esteem ego issue, but they can work on that in their own time.
One small point on that: ignorance does not mean stupidity. For those of you watching, okay, ignorance just means you don't know the subject. Like, for example, I am ignorant when it comes to physics.
Right. Yeah.
So go ahead, Mike.
The reason I got into physics is because of because there were so many girls. That's why you get into engineering. Whoops. That was wrong data. But anyway, they're coming over to Thailand for the first time, and guy, he says, "Oh man, whatever you do, watch out for the lady boys over there." I'm like, "What do you mean watch out for them?" And I had this discussion with this woman yesterday, which is, she goes, "I'm not going to rape you. I'm not going to steal your money. I'm not going to." And I'm like, how lame is that though? I said, because there is this stigma. There is this negative stereotype that like they'll beat you up or I mean, that's like saying, "Oh my God, watch out for the black people. They might rape." Oh, come on, Jesus.
Right.
I mean, would you get out of your pinhole lifestyle? But it's so sad. But again, like you said, it's ignorance. Like I hear these statements about, the race or the religion or whatever, and they, all lawyers are jerks. Until you need one.
Ignorance, and it's lack of the ability to accept a truth that you didn't come up with in your head.
So that's where it becomes dangerous. It's one thing for you and I to say, "Hey, we're ignorant," and then I'm like, "Well, Jeremy, let's get together. I'll bring out a physics book and we'll walk through it." And you'll be like, "Okay, cool. Exactly. I wanted to learn physics. I learned."
No open-mindedness.
Yeah, but it's closed-mindedness, really, and
it kills it, man. It kills it, because
I'm not saying it's our responsibility to convince everybody that, like,
right.
But I mean, it is such a third gender over here, and it is now. Again, there's some persecution for them, absolutely. But at the end of the day, it's infinitely more accepted over here than it is at home.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Because honestly, I don't really think it's a third gender at home. I think it's more like, men necessarily dressing up or basically being like women, with sort of the physical. It's like, a guy in a dress kind of thing. Whereas over here, I mean, they adopt the behaviors. It's just very interesting. And anyway, so that is to the point of like, I think JoJo is great, awesome on Jeremy's thing, and he's got a ton of history in Pattaya, and a lot of you guys watch him, and that was an excellent perspective on there. But I think where I'm going to actually concentrate a lot of my energy, as far as female, if you will, guests, is I'm going to try and get a sample size of at least 5. And sort of interview them and that sort of thing, because I really want to focus on the basically the value they add to the Thai society and the value that they could potentially add globally that we're not aware of. And I don't know, I may come to the conclusion that there isn't any, but I would really like to, pursue that. So I'm stoked, dude. I got cameraman.com. This is awesome, dude.
Yeah, we're absolutely, definitely high five. We're I'm on board with that 100%, because I don't I like your idea of the value they add to the society over here. And then since I put it to you like this, since I've been over here, I have become, because back in the States, I was like, I don't want to be around one of those people, right? And then I come over here, and I've actually met some people that are transgender, and some nicest people I've ever met in the world.
To the doctor's point, look at that comment. He's like, "Yeah, I was afraid of them when I first started coming to Thailand. The vast majority are amazingly nice and normal people." And I think that's the point. It's like, I mean, I'll be totally honest with you guys. The first one I met and talked to for 2 hours before I realized they were a guy.
Yeah,
I was like blown away. Now it's a little bit easier for me to see, because she had the Adam's apple. Her nose was done. She had implants, the whole thing. I mean, she was big. But I'll share. Here's the other reason that motivated me to do this. Years ago, I mean, like, how long have I been with Gracie? 4.5 years. So, God, it was probably like 5.5 years ago. I'm in Pattaya for New Year's. So, very spiritual, super quiet night. And 110%, 80 miles an hour, absolute shit show. And just amazing. Right. So anyway, so I'm on the beach, right out in front of like Soy 6, Soy 5, something like that. And I'm talking to this lady boy. And I'm like, oh, so, what do you, we just like, she's standing there. So I'm like, oh, what are you doing? We're watching fireworks. And she goes, oh, well, I work over there. And I'm like, so how come you're not like over there? Isn't it a busy night? She goes, no, I just want to spend more time with my friends. And I'm like, yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard like, even when there's like possibility for Thai people to make a lot of money, if they can hang out with their friends, that is going to be their preference.
Exactly.
And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Anyway, so it's like after midnight, right? And then after midnight in Pattaya, after about 1 a.m., the fireworks have died down and people are sort of going their own way. Beach Road, of course, is closed off. So I walk back down and I'm walking down and there she is sitting in her place. So I'm like, she's like, well, do you want to have a drink? And I'm like, well, okay. I mean, first of all, I'm single, but secondly, like I've been drinking Diet Coke all night because of course I don't drink alcohol. So I'm like,
right.
I'm like, sure, I'll talk to you for the next 7 hours. I got nothing going on. Anyway, so I went up there and I started talking to her. She had the full operation, 275,000 baht for the boobs and the reconstructive down there. And I will never forget this. She tells me this story. She goes, I said, describe to me. We're going back and forth. But she said, I fully done the surgery. The bruises were gone. I had completely healed. I get out of the shower and I look at myself in the mirror. And she said, for the first time in my life, I felt completely normal. I felt
that is amazing.
And I had her contact info and I've since deleted it or lost it because that is who I want to talk to because it's not it probably doesn't make you feel better right away. I'm guessing operations in that region take some healing.
Right.
But I would love to have like conversations like that because I mean, again, much like I love talking with people who are in recovery because it's like, certainly from my perspective, when I finally got sober, I was like, oh my God, I can finally now be the son that I want to be to my mom. But before, and so those moments in life, dude, I love capturing those and sharing those with other people because I think what it does is it sets a foundation for a less closed mind to people to be less.
That's what I was going to say. Even if people don't get the message, at least you've planted the seed. That's what. Jeremy is having her back on Joseph said something that was he said ignorant equals wrong pair of rose-colored glasses. I want to say something about that real quick
because they know I love my rose-colored glasses.
Me too. I read a meme the other day that said if you're looking for rose-colored glasses, you'll never see a red flag.
Fair enough. That's a pretty good one. Yeah, it's like, wait a minute, is that even pink? Just rose colored. I don't care.
I like that, but dude, your idea, man, is fine with me. I'd be more than happy to help out on that project, and we'll see what we can get done, man, because I'm all about that. I'm all about exploring. I was just having this conversation with my best friend the other day. Like I was exploring what it's like to be an immigrant because I've lived in America my whole life. And the thing has always been, there's always been this halo of immigration, what's right and what's wrong. And, it's always circling. Right. Sure. And I'm like, now that I'm the immigrant, I kind of see what you guys are talking about, and I have a lot more empathy for immigrants and legal immigrants in places than I used to, particularly in America. So
I was talking with her yesterday, and because her English was pretty decent. But again, she didn't graduate from high school, right? So there's that sort of, I mean, you can learn life by not graduating from high school, but obviously there's a little bit of
this. Oh, yeah, sure.
But I was saying to her, and I have a big appreciation for people that are illiterate because I can't read. I can't read Thai,
Oh, I can't either. Yeah, I can't.
I don't know about you, but when I was a kid and I was in America and you heard about someone who was illiterate, they were less than, they were lame.
That's right.
poor. They were a second class, third class, and I'm over here and I'm like, here I am 52. And I have this revelation of, man, Mike, you were really closed-minded. And I love moments like that, and I was saying, so I was talking with her about that because I've heard varying degrees of advice. If you want to learn Thai, learn how to read it first. No, Mike, no, don't do that. If you want to learn Thai, learn how to speak it first, and then start reading. So there's varying.
No, Mike, don't do that. If you want to learn Thai, just immerse yourself in Thai culture.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean,
those are the three answers I get every time because I studied Spanish for 7 semesters in college and Portuguese for 2. And while I do much better reading than I do speaking, I still can't put a sentence together in either one. So there's
what, in Spanish?
Yeah, I still can't put a sentence together in Spanish. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, because I mean, how long were you down there? That was your first.
I can write in Spanish. No, I didn't go to. I went to Peru for a month. Yeah. That was my study abroad trip. Right. So, but the study in Spanish with a whole bunch of English speaking people. I mean, I wasn't the guy that took Spanish in high school. I should have, right? So all these college kids. You got to remember, when I go back to college, I'm 30. Between age 30 and 36, I was in college.
Yep.
So. You got these kids coming in that have taken 4 years of Spanish already in high school, right?
Yeah.
And they're coming into college and they're prepped and everything's wrong. I mean, everything's they understand the concept behind everything. Me, I go in for the first day and we're looking at definite and indefinite articles, and I'm looking at la and un and una. And I'm looking at these things and I'm going, somebody's gonna have to explain this to me. And she goes, the teacher looks at me. Teacher looks right at me and goes, "That's what I'm doing."
That's why I'm the teacher and you're the student. Yeah, absolutely.
That's right. Good point, Joseph. 90% of Americans never leave America. That's one, and that is one reason that the mind
is it that high? I know it's like high, but is it 90?
I don't know if it's that high, but he makes a good point.
Right. I think there's only 35 million Americans that have passports. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know, but yeah.
I think you're about right on that, Mike. Stuck in Florida says, growing up in the hills of North Carolina, I knew quite a few people that were literate. Absolutely. So did I. My grandfather only had a 3rd grade education.
Okay. Yeah.
Stuck in Florida says, knew some of them were very smart people, and just like my grandfather was very smart man. Roger says, ignorance moves in perpetual motion.
Yeah, it's too bad. I guess it can also gain momentum too, right? Which is a real bummer.
Definitely.
If I get there by November 26th, Thanksgiving on me. Absolutely, dude. I'm all for that. You get your butt over here, man. That would be outstanding.
It'd be great. I can't wait for some of the people to come back myself. I've got some really good friends that are stuck.
MedTech made some great comments. The first one was that he met one that had gone through the whole transition process. Sadly, he too lost their contact info. And but I really like a suggestion. You should follow someone through the operation process. I agree. As you might guess, at least in my mind, the first thing I thought of, okay, well, if that's going to occur, that I'm going to need to basically befriend that person, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I can't expect anyone that's going to go through that to, first of all, maybe they might let me like film it kind of thing. They might let Jeremy and I, do this thing. But I really want to, as someone else mentioned, I want to learn what their psychology is behind that. Like, I mean, is it because they were beaten as a kid? Their mom wanted to have a daughter, or their father was pissed that he didn't have a son any longer, or what? Is it that craziness? Or are they just like, oh my God, I saw a Tiffany show when I was 14 years old, and I was like, I want to do that for the rest of my life. I love those flowers in their head. I have to be, what is it? And so I completely agree. So the challenge I'm having right now is, how do I get to know these people? And of course, I reached out to buddies that have lived here before, or that live here now. And as you might guess, right? I mean, it's tongue in cheek because we're buddies, and they're like, "Oh, dude, I tell you what, just go over to like Nana Plaza and then walk down." I'm like, "Okay, yeah." First of all, it's going to go over great with Gracie. Secondly, I think a lot of us already know that stereotype. Now, again, we're going to do some research on that for sure. And I know you're probably research, but no, sir. I mean, it's a part of it. I get it.
Right.
But I mean, there's way more data on bar girls in Thailand on the internet than we do not need to add any more of that, at least in my opinion. So yeah, there's a part, but I want to, so what do I do? I mean, for example, I mean, I have a buddy, he works at a university, and I've met lady boys that are college educated and that sort of thing, and they are very entrepreneurial, and they are very conscientious, and they work. I have not met a female or a male Thai person who's a college graduate in their 20s that works as hard at their business, at being an entrepreneur, as the lady boys I've met. They are very focused. I mean, they are obsessed with the craft of being an entrepreneur and owning their own company. That's been my experience. It's a small subset. It's not 1,000. So that's what I'm hoping Jeremy and I can do. We can, but I agree. It would be great to follow them.
I think we can do that, and I'm going to hand it over to you for about 5 minutes while my headphones recharge because they're starting to beep.
But you don't have plugins? You don't have wired?
Yeah, I have wired, but they don't work for some reason. I don't know.
Really?
But we'll sort that out as we.
Absolutely, yeah. So there's this technology thing. You got to stop buying keyboards that are in Spanish. Freaking killing you.
I know, right? But Carl K said a degree does not make one smart. I agree with that 100%.
Absolutely.
Absolutely agree. Walking ATM for Sick Buffalo says you are very nice to listen to, JC. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Aztec says he completely agrees with Carl K, and so do we. And there is Philippine Cowboy in the house.
Nice, dude.
In the house. There's Prince. Oh my gosh. Prince, what's up, man? He says there's a LB documentary on Amazon that's pretty good.
What's it called? Because I think I know what you're talking about, but is it the one that's only like is it the one where the girls
go after him, Mike.
Yeah.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Right on, buddy. Cool. Is it the one where the girls work in like the rubber tree plant? And they're like working out in the middle in the fields and stuff, and they get up at like 3 a.m. I saw something like that, and I was like, okay, this is, in my opinion of it, my interpretation of it, it was less about their gender choice and sort of trials and tribulations that they might go through. That I didn't really see a whole lot of persecution based on their gender choice kind of thing. It was more of the fact that, the people that we basically employ to get rubber out of trees, they're not treated well. Okay. I think, over in the world, I think we know that there are many professions like that, that gain something that is very valuable to the world. Another example is coffee. Yes, there is fair trade organizations and there's good, but there's a lot of coffee beans that are cultivated by people that are not treated very well. And so that's kind of what I walked away from that. But if you have, I'm going to go off camera I'm not going to go off camera. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys the guys that know my channel, they know all about the pigeon cam. So I'm going to give you guys the pigeon cam for a second while I go over here, because what I want to do is I want to make sure that I can see the comments on Jeremy's channel so I can answer those for the time that he's, so give me 2 seconds. Okay, apologies. And now I can read that too. Okay, so cool. Think it's a series. Only watched 2 episodes. First was a guy in Bangkok. Second was a lady from Isan and Oh, is that the one where it's the guy, and I think it's in Pattaya, and he's married to one, and they own a bar that's got like pool tables, and it's in like that little area right off of Bukau. I think that's it. I think that might be, and regardless, I mean, thank you. I will look for it. If you know the name of it, Prince, I would love for you to share it. I mean, I can Google it just like anybody else, but if you know that would be awesome, man. I really appreciate it. Darren says, what's the story on Thailand not keep Western foreigners coming back to Thailand, true or not? Well, I mean, again, right now, their priority, Darren, is health over income from tourism. And so they're basically titrating who they will allow back in. And the discussion right now, you think that's the one? Okay, thanks, Prince. Yeah, I'll review that because I think you're right. I think it's only like 4 or 5 episodes, but yeah, I'm gonna go back to it. So I'll check up. But we can revisit this next Sunday, right? During the next Boys in Bangkok, season 1, episode 5. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So what I'm hearing and what we talked about a little bit earlier, Darren, is the whole like, okay, October 1st, private flights are going to be able to be allowed in. So at the end of the day, I mean, look, they like Western tourists, okay? And just like we like tourists in the United States, Orlando likes tourists, okay? So I mean, and again, as a tourist over here, as well as now an expat for the last almost 8 months, 9 months. Actually, wait a minute. What day is today? Today's the 23rd. As of today, I've been here 10 months. Hey, that's cool. I'm going to have to do a video on that. I have never had the experience where Thailand doesn't want foreigners here. I know that many other people have described scenarios where they believe the behavior of Thais have indicated to them that the Thais don't want us here. And Ladyboys Inside Thailand, third gender. Okay, that's right. Yeah, I remember that. And that's never been my experience. I get treated very well here. And I also like to think that I make friends fairly easily with people that have a similar thought process that I do. And so there's some degree of like sort of mesh. So I anticipate that the future will involve small and then larger subsets of people. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you guys, LB. Okay, that's fair. I forgot that you have you don't like certain words and you abbreviate. And so, but anyway, but Prince, thank you for that. I got the name of it. It's been my experience that I get treated really well. But additionally, we've also talked about this before. I don't care about dual pricing. I'll pay my price. That doesn't bother me. Look, the world's not fair. I worked in higher education. There's plenty of triple, quadruple pricing there. The smarter you are, the less you pay to go to university. Okay. And that's not fair to the dumb people like me. Okay. So, I mean, that's just the way university runs. The expectation is we will give these smart people, we will charge them less with the anticipation that they will love their experience here so much, and they're going to be smart, and they're going to go out, and they're going to make so much money that they're going to come back later on, and they're going to donate money as an alumni, and therefore we're going to be able to generate more revenue in the long run for the lifetime value of this customer, basically. And so, so I don't have a problem with the whole, dual pricing thing that people might label as negative, but I do appreciate the info on that. And then Aztec, the medical, ethical, and legal basis for sex change operations equals suicide prevention. That's interesting. I didn't realize that, Aztec. Suicide tendencies for non-op people, 50%. Post-op, that skyrockets to an insane 80%. Interesting. Suicidal tendencies for non-op people, 50. Post-op, that skyrockets to an insane 80%. I have heard from some of them that they don't get the final operation for, I guess they refer to it as gender reassignment, because I've heard other ladyboys say, oh no, I'd never get that done. Their ladyboy friends that have gotten the full operation, they're like, they go crazy. They're crazy because they remove, I guess, the production of testosterone or something like this. So that's interesting that you say that. I had heard that before, but again, this one experience I had with this one person who had gone through the whole thing, her experience is what I told you, got out, looked at herself, and she goes, oh my God, I finally feel normal. And so again, that was sort of the motivator to say, I would really like to take that down. Mike, take that off screen. God, what are you talking about?
I think I would really like to do that with you, Mike. I want to cover a couple comments real quick.
Do it.
Oh, I'm back, guys, by the way. Hey.
Yeah. Hey, look at that. We can hear him. Yeah, you go. I'm going to be right back. I got to grab something from the kitchen. Hold
on. What's the story on Thailand? Not keen on Western foreigners coming back to Thailand, true or not? I would say not true. I think it's a matter of any potential risk on any foreigner coming into Thailand. Thailand takes very seriously. Just my personal take on that. Also, let's see what else we got down here. Frank Kenny says, hello from Bangkok. So happy to see my two favorite Thailand channels joining forces. Well, that's awesome, man, because Mike and I certainly enjoy each other's company, or I enjoy Mike's company. I feel pretty confident he enjoys mine. Walking ATM says, wow, you are willing to pay extra. I don't know what I don't know what you're referring to there. You must have been referring to something Mike said while my headphones were recharging. Yeah, so we need 8 more likes now to get to 50. I think 50 likes on this live stream, at least on my channel, would be great, wonderful. And if you haven't subscribed, by all means, please subscribe. If you haven't become a channel member, become a channel member. That's always a good way to stay up to date with what DoMoreLife is up to and what we're going to be doing in the future. And there's going to be a lot more stuff coming out for you guys that I'm really looking forward to giving to you. I'm really looking forward to giving you a lot more of DoMoreLife content. And when I say that, I mean content that will make you want to do more life. Oh, you referred to dual pricing, gotcha. But I want content that will make you want to do more life. I want content, and I think that this thing that Mike is talking about is a great way to, believe it or not, it'll make you want to do more life because it'll pique your interest. And I think piquing your interest. Thank you, Walking ATM, for the like. Yeah, I only need 5 more to get to 50, and then I'm happy for the day. But I'm happy anyway, guys. It's been an awesome weekend. You guys rock. But I think piquing the interest of the West, the people in the West, of the people in Southeast Asia. I think like bringing the content of the people of Southeast Asia to the Western world would pique their interest in such a way that many would travel over here just to see it for themselves. And then many would also just do a little nice research and maybe be open-minded. Aztec says, sorry, Jeremy, I didn't mean for Mike to put that up on screen and read it out /blush. I don't even know what you're talking about, brother, so don't worry about it. It's all good.
It was I don't know. I think it's an interesting data point, quite frankly. I understand the controversy for it and the potential negativity, as well as the hits possibly based on keywords that, Jeremy's very, very clear on that and has very healthy boundaries around that. On my channel, I just don't care. Right. I mean, unless it's offensive or like, rude or something like that. But as far as those keywords, I say them all the time on my channel. So that's why I put that up there. But you're right. It's a fair point, Aztec.
It's all good. I'm good.
Caesar asked, what will Phuket be like? He just joined the stream, I think. What will Phuket be like post-October? Nothing but high rollers and groupies. No, it's just going to be high rollers. There's not going to be any groupies, dude. No, yeah.
You don't think they're going to let the drinking companions go wild in Phuket?
No, that's a fair point. I mean, they're already in Thailand, right? So they're going to be working there, and then they're going to be taking the buses home down to Phuket.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like they're going to be like a lot of this stuff you see going on in Pattaya. Those girls are going to migrate to Phuket.
Maybe
for a season until I read an article that said Pattaya was petitioning the government to be another one of those landing spots.
I can understand that.
I mean, it'd be a little harder to contain things if it was in Pattaya, but they did it before. They closed the whole city down, and it worked.
Excuse me. Yeah, they did. I mean, well, they were also closing other provinces too, right? So it wasn't, but even just the Chonburi province, but also, yes, Pattaya City And yeah, I mean, who knows? I think a lot of people pretty much when they go to Pattaya, they fly into Suvarnabhumi and then they take a taxi, right? And so that's it's one thing to fly into Phuket International and take a taxi over to Patong. It's another to fly into Suvarnabhumi, and so I can understand why they're doing it, but I can also appreciate the fact that Pattaya is like, hey, what about us, dude? We were here long before this Phuket place.
Right.
Excuse me. So, and they're known for a lot, more sort of adult, type places. But
yeah.
But it's interesting. I mean, at the beginning of the stream, you brought up your buddy's comment about how he was down there, and it was like full on. He was out till like 4, 5, 6 in the morning, and it was curious. Did he happen to mention how many like locals there were versus? I mean, because my buddy in Patong, he's like, oh yeah, the clubs were totally packed. They were packed with everybody who I know, because it's only people that are living here now.
Yeah, that's basically what he was saying. Is like, the only foreigners that are here are people that either have the visas and did not leave Thailand during the, you know what I mean,
amnesty.
and or you have a BOI maybe you're involved in that, or you've got a business visa with a work permit. You can get in or you can stay. So, but the point is, most of those people, all those people are kind of gone once visa amnesty ends on the 26th of next month. So really what you're looking at is you only have the expats that are left that still qualified for the amnesty. Okay, because that got rid of a lot of expats when the amnesty deal came about, and since that time you've had a lot of expats. I just seen one fly home yesterday. You've had a lot of them just go home, and they say, "Look, I'm just going to go home and wait it out because
leaving Thailand."
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They got on some kind of
repatriation.
Basically it was like a South Korean flight to
Korean Air,
somewhere, or Korean Air,
yeah, they're flying in for sure. I think you can also pass through Taiwan right now fairly easily. I can understand, like my buddy, I'm sure you know him too, right? Asia Unscripted, Jason from over there. He's in the Philippines and he was in Cebu. And he cruised home, but I get that.
That's who I was talking about. He's not in Thailand. He was in Cebu. Yeah, I was talking about Jason.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, I get that. I mean, Cebu is, as far as I'm concerned, Cebu is not fun. Cebu is where you go to then leave Cebu to go do something.
I personally myself, just difference of opinion. I love Cebu. Loved it.
Cebu City.
Lived there 4 months and loved it. Yes.
Really?
Cebu City. Yeah, because it's well, you make a fair point about living there to go somewhere else, because you can get anywhere from the airport there, over on Mactan, and then but within the Cebu City area in the Philippines, you've got IT Park, you've got, what's that city right next to Mandaue? Mandaue. You got Mandaue, and then you've got on the island of Cebu. You've got is it called Bayadin? It's where Casawan Falls is.
I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know.
That's actually my DoMoreLife picture. Okay, the picture that the avatar for DoMoreLife is the Casawan Falls on Cebu Island.
Yeah,
that's what that is, and I've never changed that picture. I've always left it up there like that, because it was such a good picture.
It's such a good picture. We had, I don't want to. Yeah, boy. Let me rub my tummy as well.
Yeah.
I don't want to chastise Cebu guys. It's just, and the fact that you guys like it, that's fantastic. Great. Yeah. I'm not trying to convince you not to. Okay.
I
also have had, I've had an enormous amount of good experiences in Thailand and a small amount of bad ones. And I've had a larger amount of bad experiences overall in the Philippines. And
100%.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Boracay.
Same here.
Yeah. Boracay's great. Okay. But
never been wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, look, the beaches are rad. It's very tourist based, but the other thing too is, I mean, getting around the Philippines, again, like I've always said, everything takes 2 to 3 times as long. And at the end of the day, it's just a pain in the ass to do everything. And so anyway, now that said, the woman I'm probably going to spend the rest of my life with, she's Filipina. So trust me, I've got a little bit of a bias. Okay.
Right.
So,
right.
There's pluses and minuses, but again, and especially now, I can't imagine any other country better than Thailand to live in, from my perspective.
I haven't traveled as extensively as probably you and most people have, but I've gotten around just enough. I made some stops in Germany, made some stops in a few other countries, and that kind of thing. I've gotten around just enough, including my study abroad trip and including my little layover in Taiwan and everything else. If I had to choose another country to live in right now at this moment, like if they said you got to get out of Taiwan, you got to get out of Thailand, I would go to Taiwan.
So I
had one of the best experiences, short-term experiences in Taiwan ever. It was great.
I've never been. I've always wanted to. I mean, I've transferred through there. My God, probably at least 20 times. But I've always wanted super easy, dude. I've never been able to go from an incoming international flight to an exiting international flight 45 minutes. That airport is designed well. And the Taiwanese are also, they're not Japanese, but they're pretty efficient, man. Todd, thank you so much for coming by, buddy. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for all the information you give both Jeremy and I. I love
Todd. I see where Todd says he's out. Yeah. Thank you, Todd. Appreciate it very, very, very much, man. And keep us posted for sure.
Yeah, please do, man. And if you get your butt over here, dude, I am buying you a massive smoothie. So when you get the Thailand Dr. Elite visa, we're gonna hang out, babe.
Frank, you're right. Not all cost is financial. Gratitude and peace are things you can't buy. That's 100% correct, Frank.
God, if you don't know me, Frank, you know that it is less stuff, more experience all day long for me, dude. I completely agree. I always say that money won't solve all your problems, but lack of it can cause some. So there's an amount that's necessary, right? I was thinking about the other day, basically based on Todd and a couple other guys. What would I do if I was in the United States right now? What would I be doing? Because first of all, you and I, we love Thailand. Okay, so to be over there with the knowledge we have of how, let's say right now it's February and I'm still in San Diego. I am basically doing what Todd is doing. I am going through every single scenario to get my butt over here. Because I cannot imagine. I mean, again, I get a small subset of news, but I also get a lot of reports from my friends in San Diego, and it is not. There's a big delta from me going to the beach in Koh Phangan.
Yeah, if I'm in America right now, I don't think I could handle being in America right now.
Especially after we've been over here, yeah. And I'm not talking dude, that would be me even if before I lived here. I mean, obviously, I wanted to be here before I lived here, which is why I lived here.
Yeah, exactly.
But with the knowledge,
but with right now, because here's the thing. This is how simple I break it down. I can get any and all medications that I need over here for my health. Yep. I've got a doctor willing to work with me to try to get me this natural stuff and all this stuff. That shit doesn't happen in America. They want to sell you big farm. Also, I pay $1,200 a year for 2 million baht worth of insurance on 2 different policies. Okay, I'm fully covered, 0 deductible. All right. If I go back to the U.S., I'm signing up for some type of probably Obamacare during the sign up period or something. And it's going to cost an astronomical amount for me personally because I have pre-existing conditions. And so then I've got to look for a job. And if you're living in America, unlike over here, you're not really riding around on NMAX 155 for $5,000 a month. You pretty much got to have a car. Over there. The stress level would go through the roof. Like I would not be. I talk to my dad about this frequently, and he's like, "Son, I'm just so happy that you have a job and health insurance and place to live, and all that stuff over in Thailand. Because really, I've got it. Even though my job is tough, that's only one thing. If I go to America, I'm looking at 10 things that bring equal or greater amounts of stress to my life, which I don't need." Yeah, you're right, Joseph. Mike needs more thumbs up.
I got to have more cowbell, baby, and and I need a smoothie too. So, and you guys know that I like the coconut smoothies down the street. They're only 25 baht, so all I need is 70 cents from you guys. But I again, I don't want this to come off like I'm trying to rub it in anybody's face here, because I would submit that the majority of people watching us, are from U.S., Australia. Yeah. Caesar, actually, he's from, Caesar's from, he's from Bangkok. And there's a couple other guys, obviously, Side Trip Life. He's living here too. But I mean, it'd be really tough. I mean, I figured, okay, it's going to be Thailand. It's going to be cool. It's going to be good. I had no idea through any of this that all of a sudden they were going to be ranked #1 in the world. I mean, other than like being the biggest producer of rice a while ago, which they're not any longer. I don't know if Thailand has been #1 in anything in the world. I mean, maybe like, well, okay, Bangkok was rated like the most popular city, right? Because like they knocked out Paris or something like that. So yeah, so they've had some other #1 things that have also been positive. There's the negative. Oh yeah, well they're #1 in like traffic deaths or whatever nonsense that is. But again, you fix that. I mean, don't forget, like people used to just also drive drunk in the United States, and the cops used to be like, "Yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. I'm going to follow you home, but you're driving." Okay, come on. Okay, so there's a chain. There used to be garbage on the side of the streets in the United States too. They figured out a solution to that. So all of these things are going to, but I mean, hats off to them and their culture. And I just hope that, to your point that we're talking about a documentary and open-mindedness and so did Joseph just sent me a smoothie, $5 smoothie? Mother of God, I can't find smoothies that cost 150 baht. Thank you very much, Joseph.
You just awesome. Bought him like 5 smoothies, maybe 6.
I can afford to buy Todd a smoothie with his elite visa now too. This is great. Thank you, Joseph. You're cool, dude. I appreciate it.
Good job, Joseph. Good job, man. Good job.
But yeah, it's pretty good, dude. I mean, it's pretty good over here. We got it good, man.
It's really good. And again, I don't like the people that are in America right now that want to be over here. I understand. Like, I understand where you're coming from. I understand because I have family that are there, and I understand because I lived there my entire, half of my adult life, I would say. I lived there since I was born, and until I was 36. So I understand how American works. I understand the environment that people are in right now, that the United States is in right now. I keep up with it very, very closely because it does have an impact on me. Like, for example, there's potentially a round of stimulus checks that are going to come again, right?
That whole $1,200, like one time.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? Okay.
Yeah. So what do you think that was the reason that I was finally able to move on and buy the camera to begin with, right? When we got the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, we got the first one. So because I had that money I could put back in I'm never going to overspend, right? I'm always going to have a certain amount in each my accounts.
Yeah.
And if that comes again, then that's going to really put the cushion on there for what's next. Let's just leave it at that.
It's going to be a good. So both you and I got smoothie money. He just gave you some lunch money. Joseph gave you some lunch money.
Oh, Joseph did?
Yeah, you got a smoothie, dude. So we got 300 friggin' baht for smoothies. Are you kidding me?
I mean, really, Joseph, thank you so much, man. That's that's awesome because every day we now have this ice cream motorbike that's got the cart on the side. We have this ice cream motorbike come by, and he sells coconut ice cream.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like in a cup. It's like a coconut icy, like a smoothie. It really is what it's like, except it's made out of ice. Thank you, Mr. Joseph. I very, very much appreciate that. Very much appreciate that. And we need 2 more likes on my channel to get it to 50. And Jeremy's going to have an awesome day.
I don't even know how many I have. Yeah, because we're almost at 3 hours, and that seems to be about a good number for us, right?
3, yeah, we've done 4 before. But I think 3. Yeah, MOH has got something down there that I read.
Yeah, he was talking about Europe, right?
No, about the monorail. The monorail in Pattaya will start in 2023, Operation 2027. I just read about that. But
and then they made a lot of progress on the highway too. Have you seen that? Good for them.
I haven't been on the highway because I used to be on the highway all the time.
Sure,
but I haven't been on the out on the highway outside of Bangkok for quite some time. But they're still getting stuff done. I think when we read that Thailand had borrowed, I think it was 32 billion or 64 billion.
Yeah,
from
it sounds about
America.
right.
Yeah, somewhere a lot of money from the U.S. to help stimulate the economy over here again.
Yeah.
And to help the Thai people, because the Thai government's doing for the Thai people kind of the same that the American government's doing for the American people. There are a lot of similarities. Of course, the values are different, but
yeah, they got
when I say values, I mean like money values. Yeah, they're different, but the biggest thing people always ask, what's the biggest thing you've learned since you've been in Thailand? Thais are going to take care of Thais.
Yeah,
that's what I've learned.
They should.
Yeah, they definitely should. They definitely should. Oh, Robert says I have 50 likes now. We got Dion says for those in the U.S. refusing. Nah, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, pretty controversial.
Can't talk about that one, buddy.
If you want something to do, Dion, just swing over to my channel and hit the like button. Just kidding. But what's crazy? I got 25 people watching, 19 thumbs up and 4 thumbs down. I'm like, dude. Like, what is, what I've seen? I don't know if you do this or not. I guess you can remove the numbers and it just says like, dislike. So you don't get, obviously the metrics still show up, right?
But the screen I'm watching on is much different from when I go to the numbers is much different from yours.
Yeah. That's true. But I've noticed that some YouTube creators, they'll do something. I can't remember what the checkbox is, but it doesn't show the number of likes or dislikes when you're watching a video. It just says dislike.
I do that sometimes.
Yeah. And so I don't know how to do that, but I don't really, what's interesting is that first that used to bother me. And now I don't even look at the thumbs down because it's irrelevant. It's.
I agree, because YouTube has pretty much said the only thing they care about is the thumbs up. That's really what they care about. And unless you have an abstract number of thumbs down, compared to that video,
right?
Probably not going to be a big deal. But I'm looking at mine. I got 48 viewers right now. We got
that's pretty good.
Yeah, 635 playbacks. Average watch time 12:16, which is a good watch time. Chat revenue for the day is $67, so that's really going to help out next month's AdSense check.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. I was amazed at how much I was getting. I was just like, this is really, I mean, I'm honored, guys, that you give me, any of your, quite frankly, hard-earned money, dude. Yeah. I mean, it's of all the things you could put money into, it's just amazing. Honey, I'll got to tell you, man, all of Bangkok is going to be connected to the BTS. Yeah. Is it Bang Sien? What's the giant new terminal that's going to replace the Bangkok train station? Do you know the one? Bang Sue? I think it's Bang Sue. It is enormous.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
That sounds
and
right.
There's a bunch of Bang stops on the MRT there on the west side. Mm-hmm. And that one is just enormous. I cannot believe, I don't know how long it's going to take, but so many are going to go in. I mean, MRT, BTS, SRT, the Purple Line, all of that. And then bus after bus. I mean, it's just going to be an amazing, I mean, the infamous Grand Central, but it's so well planned out. There's so much friggin' real estate. It's so, I mean, I'm just so impressed with them. Big fan.
It's unbelievable.
I can't wait to get back there. Yeah, I bet, Bill. I hear you, buddy.
It really, I know it's they do it so well over here, like in terms of planning and that kind of thing. I'm just, I'm blown away by how well they actually do. So, what you got? Anything else, or you want to start to wrap it up? Or
now's a good time. We just literally turned over 3 hours, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds. So bang wah! Thank you very much. Yeah. I couldn't remember which one it is.
That's it. MOH. Good job, buddy.
Yeah. No, I think that this is great, dude. It's another great stream. I'm stoked we're doing this. I'm psyched for next Sunday. And let's just let this call it a day here. I want to thank you guys for coming by, always to the Cool Kids Table. And I love doing this with Jeremy. And I'll just say from my side, it's Mike's from livemyassoff.com saying I hope you're living the dream, because if you're not living the dream, there's a high likelihood you haven't found a buddy like Jeremy to just hang out with for a few hours on a Sunday. So I'll let you go, buddy. It's your turn. You say aloha.
So I just want to say to everybody watching, thank you so much for watching this this little concoction Mike and I have put together on Sundays here. We really, really enjoy the dynamic with each other, or I certainly enjoy the dynamic. He can answer the questions that I can't. I like that. And
vice versa.
And I don't know where things are going from here in terms of life experiences and who I'll be partners with, but I'll certainly be around Mike for a long time. So that's just because positive influence, and I want to be around positive people. And with that being said, we always want to positively do more life. And I want to remind you guys that my channel is dedicated to travel, fun, photography, and education. And that education usually comes in the form of some type of travel or some kind of news that's breaking around the travel sphere. How's that? So with that being said, guys, whatever you do today, gotta stop for a second.
Okay.
The monetary contributions this weekend has been unbelievable from all of you. The support that all of you have given this channel in these downtimes when I can't go out and make all these travel vlogs has been unbelievable. I want to thank my channel members, and you guys will get some content this week for sure, even if I just do a short live stream for you or upload a short video. You also probably be doing some content voting, so thank you for that. Aztec joined the channel yesterday. I was super excited about that.
Nice.
Yeah, I was super excited about that. And for all the monetary contributions that come in, I can't say enough about that. That just to me that's my validation, and it really helps with my self-esteem, to be honest with you, because it lets me know that it lets me know that I'm doing something right. I'm doing something of value. I'm bringing something that help people and that people look forward to seeing. And man, that's just amazing. And To all my wonderful moderators, you guys absolutely rock. You do a fantastic job on my channel, and I love you all for it. And to the Do More Life family, if you commented or had anything to do with anything this weekend that we've done live, I just want to tell you I love you and I appreciate you very, very much. And if you need anything, feel free to let me know. Other than that, whatever you do today, find a way to do more life. See you guys.
Peace.